Welcome everyone to Still Sending It. This is James, and we have another guest in the studio today. This is a second guest that's been in person. Most of my guests, if you've watched any of my other podcasts, we do it remotely. They're at their place with their phone or whatever, and then I'm here. But this in-house shit is working out pretty good. So who's today's guest?
My name is Logan Bryan. I'm here from Zanesville, Ohio. I live actually close to Mark Weaver, and I'm excited to be here, man. It's really cool to get to hang out and just bench race.
That's badass. Now we were talking before we got started. You started racing late.
Yeah.
In life. Like, I know I started when I was 16, but you started, it sounds like about a similar time. Let's hear it, man. Lay it out. Lay it out
Yeah.
your riding experience.
Yeah, so I mean, it was kind of cool. It was I got to thank my one buddy Brenton. We were at his house. I did the whole Boy Scout thing, did the Eagle Scout stuff, and it was a great part of my life. And we were over at his farm one day, and he had a CRF 150F. And as a kid, I had a P Dub, and the neighbor guys would always bring over like an old CR 250 or something, and I could ride it. And he goes, "Do you think you can ride?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I can ride. Very good, but I can ride." And he goes, "Okay, let's see what you got." So I hopped on it, and I thought, just go for it. If I weed my shit up, I weed it up. It is what it is. And we're going across this field, and I can remember plain as day. He's on this, I think it was a TRX 300 or 250, but one of the sideways motors, and he had it kind of hopped up, and it was really neat. And I come flying past him on this 150F, just pinned. I remember hitting every freaking bump in that damn field, and I didn't weed it.
Yeah.
And so we kept riding that whole night. And I mean, his trails he had were gnarly. They were all cinders. His property was part of the old AEP landmine or coal mine stuff.
Yep.
It looked like a landmine went off through there. But I remember we always started riding. So I couldn't have got into this without my Mama Rose, my great grandma. I remember I begged, and she helped me get a CRF 230F.
Okay.
And I still have it.
Oh.
And so we started riding all the time in the woods and stuff, and we just did that. And I didn't think anything of it. It's just we could go ride every day after school or whenever we could. And it was super neat because I took a lot of heavy hits that I wasn't prepared for, but I was prepared for. Like, I remember one time it started raining, and I had bald. I mean, these tires were bald as hell. And like, they were like Ling Long, Ching Chong specials,
Yes.
and whatever they were.
Yeah.
And I remember the bike slid out. I mean, it was a perfect Sexton. The front end just went, whoop.
Okay, hold on a second. First of all, Kawasaki Taimuki. You see that?
Yeah.
Stuart, that's pretty awesome. But if you don't know what a perfect Sexton is very famous for pushing his front end and falling over like crazy. So, being a perfect Sexton, I've got the perfect visual.
Yeah,
so go ahead and continue your story.
Front end just went loop out from under me, and I remember closing my eyes. And and at the time, I didn't have any gear sponsors. I mean, I wasn't even racing yet.
Yeah,
it was just blue jeans, a pair of I think Fox Comp boots, and my grandpa's 20-year-old Nate Dogg HJC helmet, which luckily it didn't get a ding on it.
Yeah.
But I remember hitting the ground hard and waking up in a thorn bush. I was like, what the hell just happened? And I mean, from there, we built the worst motocross track ever made.
Okay.
We wanted to build whoops because we watched Tomac do it.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't know you build them up. We took a backhoe and just started scraping trenches.
Oh, no.
So it was like, and on a 230F with a blown shock, it was death.
Oh my goodness.
And we made it happen. I mean,
Pogo sticking it.
It was cool though. And I think it's about 2019. As you can tell, I'm into the vintage bikes.
Yes.
We went to Mid-Ohio. And I'd gone as a kid because my grandpa was a part of that wrecking crew.
The Zanesville City, that Mark was talking about. Yep. Okay.
And so we went up there. I wanted a vintage bike. And it was like, I want to start racing. And my grandpa was like, "You sure? We'll do it. I don't care. It's up to you, dude. But you're going to have to figure out how you're going to do this because I had to make my own way. You're going to make your own way." I said, "Okay." So I saved up. At the time, I was working at CA House Music. And I saved up and took all my graduation money. For those of you who don't know, that's where my grad money went. Thank you. I bought a 1979 RM 125.
Oh,
One of my best friends, Jared Eckleberry, went with me. And I saw plenty of Yamahas. I'd get into Yamahas later, but I wanted a 79 with the duckbill rear fender. And we saw a couple and they were pretty ragged out.
oh yeah, 79 pretty clapped. Yeah.
And I remember turning the corner and seeing one that was mint. And had a for sale sign on it. And I walked up. There was a group of guys. It was all probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So they're having breakfast. And I said, hey, which one of you guys owns this? I want to buy it. And a lady come out of a camper and says, that's my husband's. He's sleeping. And I said,
well, wake his ass up. I want to buy his bike.
Well, that's what I told her. She goes, I'll sell it to you. I said, okay.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I kind of knew like, I'm going to get a deal.
Yeah.
And I think I bought it. And this is before the vintage bike prices went crazy.
Yeah.
I bought a correctly restored 79 RM 125 for $1,900.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I mean, it was cherry. And I got it. You know, that's at the time, too, when I started working on motors for people.
Yep.
And we'll get to that later. But she started it up, or her son or somebody started it up and it ran good. And my grandpa said, well, go ride at Jason Stansberry was going to take it home for me. So go ride at the Stansberry's trailer and be careful because I had never rode anything like that.
Yeah.
And it being an older style, it's got reeds, but it's a case reed intake.
Yep.
And I waited till I got out of sight and I went, and it just stood clear up. And feet off the pegs. I got that, oh shit, look. And Casey Cochran was right there watching me.
Oh, shit.
And that's how I became friends with Casey Cochran.
Yeah.
Because he come over and was like, dude, you about looped that damn thing out. And I was like, yeah, dude, isn't this a cool bike? And we started talking. So got home. Then Greer's opened. Mm-hmm. I think Greer's was open like literally a month.
After you bought it?
Before I bought it.
Okay.
Because I was riding that 230F out there. And that's how I got in contact with Carson Brown. I ordered the fork springs and the shock stuff all through him. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to motocross it.
Yeah.
And that little air-cooled bike, you could do it for like 30 minutes, and then it'd get so hot it'd start vapor locking the gas. So we did that, and so my daily rider was a 79 RM 125, and I had the work shocks done up for it, and Mark helped me. I got to thank Mark right off the rip. Without you, Weave, I couldn't build a bike like I do now. And, I remember taking the cylinder off and I wanted to port it, but I wanted to do it myself.
Yeah. The KX that you came in, you seen, that's a 09. I restored it and I bought some good bit of parts for it off of Mark. Yep. And he's like, oh yeah, just drop it off. I was like, no offense, Mark. Love you to death, but I want to do this. Like, I'm not a mechanic, Yeah. And so for me, it's like, I want to build. I built plenty of 2-strokes back in the day. Yeah. But it's like, I want to build a 4-stroke. And he's like, oh, well, if you can't figure it out, come on out. And I'm like, okay, well, I had a little trouble jetting it. And he did walk me through it over the phone, but that was a little cut off there. But I get it. You want to do it yourself because just the pride when you're done, even if it runs shitty, it's like, well, at least it runs.
Yeah. Well, that was, we got lucky. Mm-hmm. I said, well, yeah, Weave, I want to port it. And he goes, okay. And he goes, just be prepared that it could run like dog shit. Mm-hmm. Or it's going to rip.
He's got one of two options.
And I remember hogging out the ports, dude. Hogging out them transfer ports and changing the exhaust timing. And it worked out. Dude, this thing's a rocket ship.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where we experimented one year before Mid-Ohio. It's got a 38 Mikuni on it. Okay, so that bike came stock with a 32.
Oh, no, so it can take some fuel.
Yeah. I mean, it just dumps fuel. And, that was a bike that I learned how to ride on. It was very hard to ride because it didn't have any bottom end anymore. I mean, it never did, but so I learned how to ride on that. And then it became my grandma would say an obsession. Mm-hmm. That's my life.
Yeah.
I work and ride dirt bikes. That's it. All my high school friends, if you watch this, life has not changed. I work and I ride dirt bikes. I don't do anything else. I don't care to.
Well, so what you're talking about there with the, the no bottom end, the get it. Do you feel that today's kids that don't have to go through that 2-stroke progression, they're released on rocket ships. The 250Fs
Oh, yeah.
are just crazy, but I think that the talent can be a little less on a 4-stroke and still go fast. Whereas a 2-stroke, you really had to learn how to ride a bike and keep your balance and really know how to hit jumps. Am I just making that up? Is that something that I'm just thinking or?
No, I mean, I got a kid that I'm helping out. And basically became my little brother. Hi, Hayden. Um, and we talk about this a lot. He's 16. He's what are you, 6'2", 6'1"? I mean, he's big, and I've seen videos of him on a super mini,
Mhm,
and he's too big.
mhm.
But I mean, he wasn't ready for a big bike
Aged
yet.
out. Yeah, aged out, yeah.
And so like we talk about this a lot. And it's a mixed bag because I see a lot of kids on a super mini who are actually hurting the bike because they're riding it so hard.
Mhm.
Um, and then they get on a 250 and they just are animals. But then there's kids that I think should be on a 125.
Mhm.
And I mean, going back to me, I had to play not on I had to play more than the catch up game. I mean, I was going on 19, 20 years old and trying to figure out how to do this. And the 125 helped me a lot. And I still ride them. I ride the 125, 250, and the 500. And the 125 is still the bike I go to. I mean, one of our local guys, Oscar Joseph, is a perfect example. The kid can shred a 125, and his 125 is not stock. I think it's got a VHM head. It's got Pro Circuit stuff on it, but I mean, it makes great power if you ride it right.
Yeah.
And I always tell everybody, I guess what I'm getting at is riding a 125 or a 2-stroke in general is like writing in cursive.
Mhm.
It just, when you're doing it right, it flows. As soon as you make a mistake, you're going up the Ohio State block O.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it teaches, and this is just from my experience. I mean, I'm sure everybody else has their opinion, but it really teaches you how to corner. It taught me a lot, because you're set up to the corner, getting in the corner, and that's something you're always working on is corners.
Yep.
The 125, it will not clear it like at 62. There's a couple jumps or Honda Hills, especially Honda Hills.
Mhm.
If you come off that start and you do the start chicane down
Yep.
to the bottom, I think the way that Levi has it now is it's like a split lane. You got like a double here and a double there. If you don't have enough ass coming up behind it, even on a vintage bike, a modern 125, you're not clearing stuff.
Mhm.
And I think it discourages a lot of guys. I mean, it did me. It's like, hey, dude, I can't hit that jump.
Mhm.
And like my grandpa, Mark, and everybody's like, no, dude, you got to pin that thing. So as soon as you're right, I mean, as soon as you get right, you should be going.
Yeah, you gotta ring it.
And once I learned how to do that, the track got smaller and you could figure it out. So, I mean, going back to that, yeah, I'd like to see more people on 125s, and
Yeah.
especially now. I mean, the 125 market's really neat. You got your good old 26-year-old YZ 125.
25.
But then you have like the KTMs and stuff. And I'm not a KTM person. Most of you that know me know that. We'll get to my foreign bikes in a minute. But I mean, there's so many different power options now where like new 125s being TBI and stuff, they have a rev limiter.
Yeah.
So you have all these different powers that you can do now that it's like, I think every kid should have one.
I think it's a good stepping stone from 80s to 125s and 250Fs.
Yeah.
Because man, a 250F, that's what I have is 250F, and it's an older one, so it's not even what the newer ones are. Those newer ones are just like, can't believe how much power those things
Oh yeah.
are. It's insane. Like they're getting dangerously close to a 252 stroke, like
Yeah.
horsepower wise. So that's kind of like, and you're putting a 16-year-old kid on one or a 14-year-old kid on one and just
Maybe a buck 25.
exactly, maybe 125 pounds and just saying, here you go, because they weigh more than a 125.
Yeah.
They're not terribly that much heavier, but they're heavy enough to
Yeah.
make a difference. And then I think it should go 80s, 125s. I think that 125 should be a good step. But like you said, there's some kids who come off of 80s, the super minis, the 80s, and can just throw it down.
Yeah.
But I think the 125 needs to be a stepping, in my opinion. But I'm not immersed in the racing like you are as much because I was. and then I got out of it, and now I'm kind of dabbling back in. So I don't know as much as you do when it comes to the racing part of it and the progression of the kids. Because man, it seems like there's a lot of kids going faster than like in my day. You had 2 or 3, maybe 4 that were going fast, but like all. It's like I watched a race the other day of a C class, and I'm like, what the? Like
Yeah.
they're all B riders basically from
Yeah.
my day. It was like, what is going on? Like they're like, yeah, I would definitely not want to race a C class myself personally.
Well, that was the thing for me. So we got into the playing the catch up game. So my bike progression was really weird. And so Mark had a 93 CR125.
Okay.
I bought it off of him. He let me do a buy here, pay here.
Nice.
And we built that thing. Come to find out through frame numbers and some stuff, it was possibly Steve Lamson's practice bike.
Oh, nice.
Because it still had the Pro Tag. I uncovered that because someone painted the frame silver. So when I stripped it, I liked the silver frame. So I wanted to keep it that way. But I found the Pro Tag, ran the numbers in 93. That was his backup practice bike at High Point.
Oh, nice. Okay.
At least the tag was.
Yeah.
So I rode that and it was a rocket ship. I mean, that bike was faster than hell. And I love that bike, except for the way it sat.
Yeah.
That was just not my style. So I kept that, and then I got off of a buddy a 2000 KX 125. Still have that bike. That's the bike I race indoors with. It is a glorified turd, but it's good. I mean, I have the 2000 KX 250 that Mark talked about when he raced for Canes.
Yeah.
I have that bike.
Oh, okay.
It got lost. We actually built it for my grandpa.
Yeah.
You know how that works.
Yeah.
I ended up racing it, right?
Yeah.
And we were up at Mark's building it, and he started looking at the shock, and he puts this special shim or something in there, and then he was looking at his notes, and it matched, and he goes, "Let me see that cylinder." And he looked at it, and I think it's got his initials or something in it. He goes, "This is my old bike.
Nice.
This thing's and it is a unit."
Yeah.
That's when I ended up. We'll get to that later too. I broke my collarbone on, and so we just started just racing. And I mean, I'm still to this day, I like racing more than I do practicing. I like it. I like the atmosphere. I like everything about it. So we were doing that stuff, but I took that 2000 KX 125 and that's what I was racing in C class. And when I got into C class, that's just, when it started. I don't want to call them cherry pickers because every class has those.
Yeah.
You'll always have that.
Yeah.
But it got to a point where it was like, I'm fighting for 20th.
Yeah.
And I mean, these kids are going fast.
Yeah.
And guys that I'm still really good friends with, like my good friend Carson Minton and I, his dad and family owns Minton Cycles with the Cobras. And I mean, we went at it all the time. And it was fun. And I liked it. And the next bike I got was a 22. I think it was 22 or 23 RMZ 250. Hated that bike.
Yeah.
Hated everything about that bike except how it handled.
What was wrong with it?
It was a 4-stroke.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you.
So that's where I learned I'm not a 4-stroke kid.
Yeah.
Do not like them. It made good power until it didn't. Is the best way I can explain it. I really like the Zook 450, like your brother's bike. I love that bike.
Yeah.
It makes great usable power, like it should.
Yeah.
But like I'd come into a corner and maybe it was just me at the time, still learning. I'd be the first one into a corner. No one was outbreaking that bike.
Yeah.
I mean, that bike was freaking phenomenal. I mean, you almost had to be careful because it would knife too hard.
Okay.
And but as soon as you got into the apex, got back on, I mean, you're getting back on the power. Here comes the Yamaha, here comes the Honda, and right up your ass is a Cowie. And again, I think that was me, but I wanted to rev it. That bikes particularly didn't like to be revved.
Yeah.
It liked to be kind of short shifted. So we kept that bike for a little bit, and then I literally had a Monday bike.
What does that mean?
So when I bought that bike, me and my best friend, Fergie, he's going to be watching this. He's like, "Hey, I want to go with you to get that bike." Okay. So we go up there And it was that year, like 22, when we
Okay.
got that horrible snowstorm
Okay, yeah.
where they were shutting roads down
Yep.
for days.
Yep.
Well, my grandpa, and I know you're right, and I know you say this to everybody. He goes, hey, you need to get there and get the hell home.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get the bike, get it loaded up. I'm all excited, you know, brand new bike. And this was my first ever brand new bike.
Oh, shit.
So like, I'm like freaking out, dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, this is a brand new bike. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And we get it. And Fergie goes, we love Mod Pizza. It's just Chipotle for pizza.
Yeah.
And like, I'll eat any pizza. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
like,
pizza's
good.
Pizza's delicious, yeah.
And I told my grandpa, I said, hey, we're stopping to get Mod. He goes, no, you need to get home now. And it's snowing harder.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll be okay. So we get on to the highway. I told him not to. You can argue with me all you want. You know I said no. And we're right there at Buckeye Lake where it just turns into 3 lanes.
Yes.
And we're going about 35, 40 mile an hour. I mean, it's getting bad out.
Mhm.
And he's getting nervous. And I said, well, pull up there to the rest area and I'll swap you out because I like driving in the snow.
Okay.
No sooner I said that, the truck went sideways, jumped down. You know how deep those ditches are. Jumped that fucking ditch.
Oh.
And supposedly the state, he said, we set a state record for jumping a vehicle. We jumped that fucking ditch over a fence into the farmer's field. And I'm holding on to the shit handle. I got my phone in my hand. I'm like, and I'm screaming, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Yeah.
The whole time. And when we hit the airbag curtain, blew my hand off, my phone in the back seat, and dislocated my thumb to my wrist.
Oh.
So we're sitting there. He's all fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first thing, I'm like, where's the bike?
Oh, God. Yeah.
I mean, brand new bike.
Yeah.
And I get out to get the door handle. And usually, your thumb's right here. I couldn't. Where's my thumb?
Oh.
I was like,
oh,
look, where's my thumb?
No.
And I'm like, I'm freaking out, and I'm like, oh shit, there's my thumb. So I open it up. I don't care about my thumb at this point where it's like, it's not in the bed of the truck.
What?
It's not in the bed of the truck. Yeah. It's not in the fucking truck. And so, like, pardon my French, like, this is crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
And we get out and it's sitting and God saved that bike.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone took it out of the truck and turned the handlebars like you're in the pit and leaned it against the truck.
What?
All it fucked up was the handlebars. No, it didn't even bend the handlebars. It was just the clutch lever broke.
Okay.
Bent the subframe, cracked the airbox, as it was like -16 out.
Oh, yeah.
And so like the bike's there. I don't know there's damage yet because I ain't looking at it.
Yeah.
And Fergie gets out of the truck, basically drops to his knees. I mean, he's shooken up.
Oh my goodness.
I'm pissed.
Hey, Fergie. I would have been in the same boat you would have been. I would have been like, oh, fuck it. I'd have been freaking out.
Oh, destroyed his truck.
Oh, dude. Not only destroyed his truck, your bike.
Yeah.
And then the truck. And then so, brother, you had every right to freak out. That's fucking crazy.
So he gets out. I make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
And OnStar's talking to us. And this nice lady, I mean, God bless her. She got the ambulance. They must have had to have seen it because, I mean, they're there.
Right there.
And so I get out. I'm shooken up. I haven't called my grandpa yet.
Yeah.
I'm like in the back of my head, I'm shitting a brick.
Oh yeah. Yo, pops.
They're like, yeah, we're going to send you to the hospital because of your thumb. I said, no, you're not. I got my bike over there, and they said, dude, fuck your bike. You got to go to the hospital. I remember going pop.
Oh.
And it was like it hurt so bad, but like you have so much dopamine and adrenaline going that it's like. So we got them on their way. Fergie's dealing with the sheriff because I think he got reckless op because it was a level 3. We shouldn't have been out.
Yep.
And I had to call my grandpa.
Oh.
And I remember crying because once I realized the bike was like fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
And I just started bawling. And I'm not one to show emotion. That's just not me.
Yeah.
And like he felt terrible because none of my friends ever seen me cry.
Yeah.
And I'm a mess. I'm calling my girl, dude, can you come get me? The bike, it's kind of fucked up. And I remember him, I freaking told you. Where are you at? I said, you know the building that has the Fitzgerald's transmissions? He's like, I'm on my way. And I guess my grandma, and we had, at the time, I didn't have my enclosed trailer. So we had one of those, we just retrofitted a Lowe's trailer to basically be my bike hauler.
Yep.
And it was frozen. And I guess my grandpa did some He-Man shit, which if you ever saw my grandpa, like, I think, like, you 65 now? I would, pardon my French, I would not fuck with my grandpa.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody that knows my grandpa, like, nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Like, would do anything for you. But, like, the way he kind of stands, he's not real tall. And he kind of built like a brick shit house.
Got that stockiness.
And my grandma was like, yeah, I just watched him just go whoosh with that frozen trailer, throw it on, and we were on our way. And he got there, and, he wasn't mad. I bet
he had time to calm down.
Yeah.
Time to calm down.
And it was quite a ride home.
Oh, I bet it was.
But,
and I bet he was just happy that you were okay.
Yeah, and that's Fergie's mom and dad came out, and I'll never forget this. His dad looked at me, and I call him Aunt Joanne and Uncle Brian. He looked at me and said, "We're going to buy those parts for you."
Oh, fuck.
So luckily I had a buddy on eBay that I was good friends with. He had a brand new subframe and airbox and gave me a whole bunch of stuff for it.
Yeah,
and it worked out. But that bike right off the rip had juju that wasn't that good.
Oh, not good. Not good.
That bike, Mark, did we put 3 or 4 fuel pumps in it? I've never, ever seen a Suzuki. And I love Suzukis.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a yellow bike, I'll ride it. Like, a real Yamaha's yellow.
Yes, true.
And so it went through like 4 fuel pumps. And like, I had it for 4 years. I got rid of it this past winter. So however many years. Mm-hmm. And Suzuki didn't even know. I'd call Suzuki. I had some friends that worked for Suzuki Japan, and they didn't know. So they sent me all new wiring harnesses, all new sensors, all new ECU.
Yeah. Couldn't figure it out. Oh, wow.
They sent me, because it comes with a Kian, which I thought was weird. It came with a Kian fuel pump and a Mikuni throttle body, which I was like, why would you mismatch that?
Yeah, that's
whatever.
Weird, yeah.
Never figured out. So whoever has it now, I hope it's straight and good. We put a new fuel pump in it
every time.
and now I ride a Beta 252 stroke. Best bike ever made.
Yeah.
Best bike ever made, dude. Thing fucking rips.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good advertisement for them. Yeah. I see you got Vintage Factory on your t-shirt there. Are they one of your big time sponsors?
Yeah, they're one of my big time sponsors. Yeah. I couldn't do this without them, know. It was cool how I met Andrew. So Andrew Steger runs and owns Vintage Factory. He took over for his father Scott. So I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Marty Smith replica bikes that were made.
I know who Marty Smith is, but I don't know if I've seen, because you got to remember, I've spent 16 years away from the sport, I got completely out of it. Prior to that, I've seen some stuff, but no one was refinishing the bikes and making the replica bikes, prior to that. But I got completely, Chris stayed in it, my brother, but got completely out of it.
Wow. I got
and now I'm dabbling back in, and it's enjoying it, a lot of fun, watching the races. And like I was talking on the one last podcast with Mark, was my stepson, Dalton. He raced the vintage races a couple times throughout the years. And then he also is a big fan of the sport. So him and I talk about the races every weekend they happen and stuff like that. He's watching them. Yeah. So I can't wait to get him down here to ride the KX just to give me an opinion of it or whatever. But
100%.
Yeah, I don't know the Marty Smith replicas you're talking about, but I'm sure they're pretty dope.
Oh, dude. And it was really cool how Andrew and his father had Marty involved.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he releases clips and really cool snips of Marty talking about it. He goes, they're almost the same.
Yeah.
And so when Andrew took over, he wanted to make it like a media platform.
Mm-hmm.
To really help vintage explode again, because it's when I was growing up, when my grandpa, Mark, and everybody was in the wrecking crew, I went to some, but again, as a kid, I didn't give 2 shits about dirt bikes.
Yeah.
I liked them.
Mm-hmm.
I liked being around them. I did not like riding.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And, eventually, obviously I came around.
Yeah, obviously you came around, but you can't be around, it would be hard as a kid being around, So I'm assuming the wrecking crew, you have been around Mark and the Stansberrys, John and Jason, some of the best people in the world. Yeah. Mark, best people in the world. And then was Robbie part of that, Miracle? So you had Robbie Miracle in there.
He's part of my bad influence.
Yes, you probably had Longstreth in there. You probably had a lot of the crew in there. So I think that it'd be hard not to want to be part of it, but I can understand not wanting to ride.
Yeah.
I mean, because every kid is different, but obviously you did come around and you got to relive a lot of those memories for sure.
Well, for sure. And that's where, going off of that, if you've ever seen pictures of the Wrecking Crew Suzukis, the TMs, I have, PJ Rapel had one.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them were sold off tanks because Robbie did the one-off tanks with the yellow, and the bikes originally had a green like swoosh.
Yep.
Robbie did the red. And so all those guys had it except Stansberry's because they were Yamaha folks.
They were Yamahas.
So everybody had those, and my grandpa had the TM400 Cyclone, the Widowmaker. And that's how I got back into vintage racing, because I wanted to ride that right off the rip because everybody told me, oh, that bike's the devil. It will kill you. You can't even start it without breaking your leg.
Oh.
And I was like, that's badass.
That's badass.
I want to ride that thing.
Oh,
that thing's wicked. And I told my grandpa, because I remember as a kid, he was going to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember begging him, Papa, please don't sell it. I want to race it. And he kept it.
Mm-hmm.
And it sat downstairs for every bit of 17, almost 17 years, I think. And pristine, as it was as he left at his last race.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all kind of quit doing that in 07, 08. Yep. And so I got the RM, started doing that, and then my grandpa always told me, you can race that when you start it. The good old, if you can start it, you can ride it.
Yep.
And 2021, I think it was a few weeks out before Mid-Ohio. I've never rode that bike.
Mm-hmm.
Fergie came over, and I went up to Mark because my grandma and grandpa were going on vacation, and I think that was their first Las Vegas trip they were going to together or something like that. And it was really cool because I told Mark I want to ride that, because I asked Mark, I said, do you think I can ride that? He goes, you're not stupid. Just understand it's a 400.
Mm-hmm.
And it's erratic.
Yeah.
Just get it out. I was like, okay, well, they weren't home. I went up and got crank seals because I knew it was going to need crank seals and whatnot. So I put it in, and I got a video of me trying to start it. I didn't know it had a combination lock to start it.
Oh.
So like every bike, especially the old bikes, they got, this one wants to pinch a throttle, and as you kick it down, and it's hard on your knees kicking this damn thing.
Yeah.
Because the piston, and it's like that big around. It's like a truck piston. And it fired up, and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It was like, mum, 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 mum. I was like, oh, this is odd. And you'd rev it and go, yim, dum, 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 dum.
Hanging idle.
I'm like, what the hell? And my friend Fergie's like, what are we going to do? I said, I'm going to ride it.
I guess I'm raising it.
So I come through the yard, put it in first, kind of take off, put it in second. And I was like, I'm going to dump clutch, see what it does. And it goes, and it stands up across the yard. And I was like, whoa, this thing's awesome. And we went to Mid-Ohio. I didn't realize how bad 4 inches of travel beats the shit out of you.
Oh, that's why they wore kidney belts back in the day.
That's why I still wear one.
Yeah.
And so we started doing that. And to get back to Vintage Factory, we were at Haunted Hills 2 years ago. Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 3. And he come out and just wanted to film.
Yeah.
I think he was hired by Arma at the time, or working with Arma and helping them kind of boost whatever views and stuff. And he come out and was interviewing people. And being a young guy, and there were quite a few young guys and now there's a lot.
Yeah.
But at the time I was racing the 500 Sportsman Expert, and he goes, can I interview you? I said, oh, absolutely. So we did an interview kind of like this, just kind of bullshitting. And he kind of just said, you want to ride for me? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Of course, yeah.
And it's cool. And just kind of as a shout out, I've met some of the greatest people because of motocross, but even more in vintage.
Okay.
In Vintage Factory, like I said, he's getting millions of views just showing what we like to do, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's videos of me just rolling up to the line, like at Muddy Creek. I think it got like 8 million views.
Oh, damn.
It's like nuts.
Yeah.
And I like the comic section the best
Yeah.
because people are telling their horror stories of the TM400
Yeah.
and all that. So, but the fans make it cool because like Mid Ohio, I can't go 5 feet without either knowing somebody because of that or having people come up. This year, I probably took a couple hundred photos with people
Nice.
just
That's
because they
awesome.
wanted to do it, and it opened the door for me to meet a lot of people, and we'll get to them throughout this episode. But it's just like, I couldn't do it without my sponsors,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, you can rattle them off because we are gonna pay homage at the end of this as well. So real quick commercial break. Let's do that because we want to give a shout out to Edge One Racing.
Yeah, Edge One Racing, Mark. I couldn't do it without my grandpa, Mark. Mark, I'll never forget when you told me, you can ride for me, but you're wrenching on all your own junk. I said, okay. And so he'd set like the Honda, whatever I was working on at the time, and he'd watch me to make sure I wasn't going to like tear something up.
Yeah.
But he's like, if you need anything, cry.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't do it without Mark. Edge One Racing on Facebook. I know in his episode he listed his phone number.
Yeah.
I've had enough concussions, I can't remember that.
Yeah. No. Just jump on the eBay store, jump on Facebook. You said Vintage Factory.
Vintage Factory. Check them out. Andrew's posting. There's a new series called Gate Drop. Make sure you check in on that. It's really neat. If you haven't got to see it, check that out. It's super cool.
Andrew, you got to be on too.
Well, we'll have to fly him in.
No. We can do it remote.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, I can do it remote. Like most of my guests on my other podcasts were remote.
Yeah.
So basically, as long as he has a phone or a laptop, he's a media creator, content creator. So yeah, Andrew,
there you go, Andrew. We'll get you on here.
Yeah, you got to be on because it's simple. I can see him through my screen. He can see me through his, and it works out just great. So, but go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're good, dude. I love this. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
Caleb Hauser and Rory O'Neill at Bridgestone for hooking me up with the absolute best beast unit of a tire. The X31 Bridgestone, can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Best tire in the market right now, and they wear like iron.
And that's for just vintage, or they make them that
That is a modern tire that I put on vintage bikes. I put on modern bike.
Perfect.
It is an absolute animal.
And is it matched with the front tire?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead.
Maxima Racing Oils. Thank you, Ronnie Lachine, for taking me in and
just being a legend.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean, Ronnie Lachine, like, let's just casually name drop one of the fucking industry legends.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ron, I like being on the phone with Ron because like if you catch him on a business day, it's business.
Yeah.
How many cases do you need?
Yes.
Or this or that? So thank you, Maxima. 100% Racing, FXR, Don. You've kept me. You took a chance on a kid that I'm still trying to get good. And couldn't do it without you guys. They treat me so well and always keep me dressed in good looking threads.
I mean, look at your jerseys up here. I mean, these are all your
and
love it.
They're always super breathable.
Yeah.
I love FXR. Engine ice. I only have one bike that runs that. Everything else
everything's air cooled.
Everything else is air cooled. I'm sure we're missing the field house here in Zanesville. They give me somewhere to keep myself in shape, keep myself healthy. My family. I mean, you guys put up with a lot of shit, so I appreciate it. A lot of late nights in the basement, running an impact or doing whatever at like midnight on a Friday night before a race. DC Plastics. Yeah, once you get put on the spot, it just
they just go away. So if you miss anybody, what you'll do is just send me a list.
Yeah.
And I'll try to make sure I include it in the show notes and everything, so that way we don't miss anybody.
We'll get you guys covered.
Yeah, get you covered.
Them
there.
Concussions, I'm telling you, we'll get to those too.
Yeah. So that was just a little commercial break there. But I remember the vintage days when I started racing, which was in '95. They had a vintage race at Honda Hills, and that brought in people from all over the world. So I seen the vintage, because they had a modern motocross race the day before the vintage was on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so I seen the vintage, and that was cool. And then listening to the stories of my stepson Dalton when he races the vintage nationals at Mid Ohio. Listen to his stories, and then Mark's stories. Now hearing your stories about the vintage nationals, it's like, man, in about 2 years, my bike's gonna be vintage.
Yeah.
20 years old, right?
Well, and that's the thing. I've gotten to meet so many cool, good, just genuine human beings through this. And it's like Zor. Zor is one of these races that it's a track like Honda Hills. It's got so much prestige because in 73, a year before the Trans Am at Honda Hills, it was at Zor in Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
And Ed Abdo and his son Nick and their team brought back the original track. There's not a freaking jump on it, but it's the funnest track I've ever rode in my life. They still have the original falling forward gate. That race, the race part of it, eats Mid Ohio alive.
Yeah.
So in the way they do the class structure is, I think, my first moto, I took Jack Winland up with me. And we took his van.
Yeah, he's killing it right now. I've seen a lot of his stuff on the Facebook and on the Facebook. Look at how fucking boomer I sound. on Facebook and yeah. So Jack, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Because I'm thoroughly impressed with what's going on with him. But go ahead, you took Jack with you. Go ahead.
So me and Jack went up there. And again, if anybody that knows me, I take my grandpa goes with me everywhere.
Yeah.
But sometimes he's like, hey, this is what you and your friend need to go do. You need to go do this. And I love that because it's like, I still feel weird, but it's cool. So we get up there and Jack kind of looking at the track and it's like all these old school rolling hills. But we went up to this one hill called the A Hill. And hill, you can't walk up it.
Oh, that steep?
Oh, the track comes around this corner, it drops off, and you just pin it wide open, and there's this hill. It literally goes straight up. It looks like something out like Big Sky, Montana ski resort.
Gotcha.
They have guys tied to the tree on like a zip line.
To hook your bike?
If you fall, they are there to hook you and the bike to keep you from going,
oh my goodness,
all the way down.
Oh, wow.
And so we're walking up this hill, and I look up, and I'm looking down, I'm like, holy shit, this is huge. And he's like, dude, this is awesome. I was like, I know. Well, once you get to the top of the hill, it doesn't drop off the backside. You do that U-ey around this tree and it's straight down.
Oh.
And it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So we get up there and again, the falling forward gate. Our generation never seen that. I mean, I think the cutoff on those falling forward gates was like the mid 70s.
Yeah.
Late mid 70s into the late 70s. I never hit one. What the hell I knew what falls forward, but it's in sections.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So I talked to my grandpa. I said, how do you jump this thing without like getting disqualified? Because you can literally wheelie over it.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, get about that far back. Soon as that thing flinches, smash it down.
Yeah.
Well, we're on the line, and it's the pre-75 class was cool because like that's one thing I love. ARMA, we have a lot of era specific classes. So like Sportsman 500 is any 400 and 500 bike that's 74 and older. Well, pre-75 kind of brought in some cool bikes. So we had, I think, 40 dudes on the line. Which is a big class, especially for vintage. And I remember sitting there and there was a guy on I think a BSA, big single. And he goes, hey, he has to be up close. That fucker's going to smash it. And I was like, no, I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
No.
And the guy that runs the gate said, he's fine. That's legal. As soon as that thing flinched, smash it, best whole shot of my life. I was gone. And it was awesome because it was a grass track.
Oh. That was like an ice rink for a while.
Practice, dude. I was on that YZ490 in practice.
Yeah.
It got on the pipe and I was kind of brake steering it and I got into the brake just a little heavy, killed the motor. It fell. I did 100 freaking foot slide.
Grass tracks are,
And luckily it didn't hurt because it was still, but by the time we got to race and there were so many people, it had holes all over. And that A hill we talked about, that's what they call it. So, and it was really cool how Ed had it set up. So if you were a novice rider, you didn't go up it. They right there, kind of where it just becomes a little bit of a hill. They looped you down.
Okay.
So they made it safe.
Yeah.
So we get to this A hill, and mind you, the TM's no longer the wrecking crew bike that my grandpa had. I want this bike to scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, gotcha.
So we shaved the flywheel down a little bit, did some stuff. Everybody swears I did port work. I did not do any port work. The cylinder's already massive enough.
Yeah.
But Gemco, they're one of my sponsors. They're not making pipes right now, but they make supreme pipes. Chris is building the pipes for Mitch, that owns it. Built me a 1-of-1 DeCoster pipe.
Ooh.
So it comes up, swells, and then comes right out to the stinger. So the thing is just louder than any bike should be. And I'm coming up this hill. I'm like, to gas it.
Mm-hmm.
Just holding that thing. And you can, and it, it's loud when it's got woods. I mean, this track's in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Got forest around it, and I can hear it ricocheting off out of the valley back. And I'm like, damn, everybody's gonna be deaf.
Yeah.
I mean, this hill's lined with hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And they're all going,
yeah.
like
yeah,
this.
bring headphones next time, guys.
And people were sending me videos and stuff, but I get to the hill and I hadn't been out since practice.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's braking bumps going down at this deep. And on Fortune's drop, it's going bang, bang, and it's just jumping all over the place.
Slamming you.
And it's like, dude, I can't let off going down this hill or else I'm going to swap.
Yeah.
And so we did it, and I mean, the track got gnarly, but a good gnarly.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, once you got on that 80, I was on my 83 YZ490. Once you got out on that, the bumps disappeared because it has 12 inches of travel.
Yeah.
But it was just like the events like that. That's what makes vintage worth it. And I ran the Arma Great Lakes series for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And that let me know right then and there, I'm not a race promoter.
Yeah.
I don't have patience for that. But it was cool. So like just doing the vintage stuff was great. But one thing I always found was lacking was everybody's like, and it bugged me. I mean, it doesn't anymore because I've come to terms that's who I am. Everyone's like, dude, you fly on a vintage bike. What the hell happens when you get on a modern bike? Because I was on that RMZ.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't ride it. I couldn't rev it. Just didn't work out.
Yeah.
My heart, I don't think my heart was in the 4-stroke.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And so we did a lap time at Briarcliff on the A track. And I did a lap time comparison between an 82 YZ490, that's an overfed pig, and my RMZ. I was 6 seconds faster on a 500.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot if you don't know moto, but that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's big.
Especially on that big of a bike.
Yeah.
And so I kind of didn't do the modern stuff for a couple of years. I kind of lost interest. And for a while there, it got really kind of weird where everybody was kind of an ass.
Really?
You go to talk to your friends and their dad would give you weird looks because you were their competition. And I get that. But it was like, so that kind of pushed me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I went and test rode the beta, got the beta. I would think I'm faster on the beta now than I am the vintage bike.
Yeah.
But I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
And so I'm back to where I'm progressing so aggressively now. And it's coming to me that like I have to ask Mark and Jack Winland, all my fast friends, like, what do I do? And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, I'm struggling. And they're like, yeah, you look so much better though. I'm like, I don't feel better.
I don't feel better. Yeah.
So, and that's kind of where we're at now. We're riding vintage and modern.
Yeah, perfect.
Busy.
Yeah, you've done, I've noticed a lot of when I was doing some research on this and checking out your Facebook page, the Facebook page. Check it out. I was checking out your Facebook page, and the vintage stuff does look cool on you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it does look cool on you, and it's definitely a swagger. You definitely got a little bit of a different swagger on the older bikes. That's for sure. Yeah,
that means a lot.
Just your body position and everything, and your head position, and so I was noticing that too. I was like, okay, yeah, that's where you got your heart's definitely in the vintage. So yeah, I remember it was right as I was getting out of doing racing and everything like that. John and Jason Stansberry they either won a national title or were competing for national titles or something like that on their old Yamahas, and I just never, at that point in my life, I was like, I don't understand that. Why but now I see it and I'm like, oh, okay, because you ride the two strokes and, because if I was to ever do something like that, I know I would be the early 90s, mid 90s
Yeah.
bikes. That's definitely because that's my jam.
Yeah.
And that's where I would be because that's, still don't think I can do like an old Elsinore or anything like that.
We
That's
wouldn't
just,
let you ride a Honda. All
yeah.
my Honda people out there, they know me. I'm
Yeah.
If it's a yellow bike, we're cool.
Yeah.
Silver's all right too.
Yeah. Well, the Suzukis of that era, they were, guess, pretty cool, but I don't know. I just 86 would be the oldest I would go,
Yeah.
probably personally. I know that the early 80s bikes are pretty awesome, but that's just not my style. So
Well, it's like, and that's where it was so cool. Again, shout out to my buddy Jack. I mean, Jack and I, it was cool this year. Going off on a tangent, I was one spot out again from winning Mid Ohio, and that's my goal. And then that race isn't for me. That's for my grandpa. He was, he always told me, he goes, I was always one spot out from a trophy. So that's all my trophies are for him.
Yeah.
I don't care about him.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you race to win. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes,
You don't line up, just go, oh, I hope I get 40. No.
Yeah.
You race because you want to win.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah.
But damn, my French again. This fucking race is getting hard. And Mark and I talk about this. The days of going to Mid Ohio and being able to kind of cherry pick, them are gone.
Yeah.
Because like Jack, it was so freaking cool to watch him ride Mark 76 RM125 and win on that, because I was getting a little nervous because he's so hard on a bike. This kid can rev the shit out of a 450. And so you get him on something that's the clutch is this big in it. It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Because, being a mechanic and stuff, it's like I know what can go wrong and what usually will.
Yeah.
And to see that, I was so proud of all of them. And then Matt, Matty Cakes getting that championship. So for me, I know what's coming. I just got to put in the work. I got to do it, and it's coming. But to see my buddies and have them thank me on the podium, I had a lot of people go, "Thanks for getting me in the vintage."
That's awesome.
That meant more than anything. I mean, it's.
So do you have races left this year, or are you just going to focus on Mid Ohio next year? You got races left this year, and then next year you're safe to say you're coming back to Mid Ohio next year. But what races you got left this year? So
this year, and again, being back in modern, it's kind of, I'm not just dedicated to one series until this weekend.
Okay.
We have Zor in September. I might do a few hit or miss vintage regionals. Excuse me. Next weekend starts in theory, with all the rain we've gotten, this summer sucked, dude.
Yeah.
The Buckeye series that Scott Plessinger, Aaron's dad, puts on.
Oh yeah. I would like to get him on here too. I sent him a message on Facebook and waiting for a response. But I mean, as a kid growing up, yes, he was a woods rider. He was a GNCC rider. But we would see him every year, him and Scott Summers at the Sunday Creek.
Yeah.
Because they had the motocross the day before, and then they had a GNCC the day after. So we would stay and we'd watch, Plessinger do the, so that was pretty cool to see that he's doing all the tracks and stuff in Ohio. So hopefully Scott's Buckeye series, kicks off. I really wish him the best of luck.
Well, and Scott's still a dog. And Scott, and that's where I won a championship in the Buckeye series on that 82 YZ490. And Scott, Scott's like family. Scott made it fun for me because I was doing it on the 79 RM, and we were at, I think it was COCR. And if you've been to COCR in the 90s, it's still kind of the same, but in a good way. I love that track. A lot of my friends hate that track. I liked it.
I loved it.
I loved
racing there, like racing there in the mid 90s into the early 2000s. I love COCR. COCR is great.
I like hard pack.
Yeah.
I'm a hard pack, and that's where the vintage comes in.
Yeah.
But, I broke, it was either COCR second round, whatever it was. I broke the swing arm off that 79 arm 125.
Oh, shit.
Just because I'm jumping. I mean, that's one thing that separates the vintage guys from like the vintage guys like Mark. And I hope that someday I can be like those guys. They'll jump shit. And I'll jump shit. Well, I broke the swing arm, and then that's how I'd never rode a 500 before then. And I called my friend Rich Stevens. He's one of those Rokon guys. If you've ever seen a Rokon, they are a pull start dirt bike that was an automatic because it has a snowmobile motor in there.
Okay.
And it had, in like 75, they had disc brakes. They're all, dude. You got to look that up.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely look
they're
that
an
up.
oddball bike, but they're super neat. But he had this 82 YZ490, and I remember calling him. I was headed to Fergie's house, and I remember calling him on the phone, and I said, "Hey, how much would it cost for me to rent that bike for the last 2 rounds of so I can secure this championship?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, hell no, you ain't renting that bike. I'll let you ride it.
Oh,
But here's the deal. You got to come up the Route 62 and pick it up from me," because he lives in Mount Vernon.
okay.
And I was like, "Okay, I'll ride it in the parking lot and stuff." Went to get it. And the YZ490 is notorious. If you don't kick it right, it has so much back pressure, it will either do one of two things. It'll break the kicker spring, which is the good result, or it'll blow the freaking cases out.
Oh my God.
And so that's a really common thing with them. So, like, if all my friends that want to ride it, they're like, "Can I start it?" I'm like, hell no.
I
will
got
start
this.
it for you.
I got this. Yeah, I got this, fan.
And so it broke the kicker string when I tried to start it. And he wasn't mad, and I was nervous. I was like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, we can't bump start it unless we pull it with the pickup truck." And he wasn't joking, dude. It's only got 4 gears. You have to put it in fourth and then shift down to third and
jump on
it to go. So I got it started. I come across the parking lot in second and went to third. I was like, "Bro," and my eyes were going like this, and I was like, "What the hell is this thing?"
Yeah.
But then I like come around, and it was like it was turning, but that bike at the time still had like a 3.5, 4 gallon tank on it, stock,
big.
and so it was like, man, this thing's gonna corner really well. So we went to Chili Town.
Okay. Yep.
And Scott said, "Hey, this is your make or break race, dude. Like, you need to do well." And at that point, most of the guys' bikes had broke. So it was just the core dudes that were, I mean, I think there was 5 or 6 of us in it, but it was a 1 point separating all of us.
Oh shit, yeah.
And so it was like, oh shit.
Down to the wire.
But this track's gnarly. I mean, it's got big ass, I mean, it's a modern track. So it's got like the whoop section. You can triple, quad, or quintuple, or whatever the guys are doing now. And we went out and practiced, and I was like, dude, this thing corners awesome. But then that's when I realized, can't rev a 500. Especially that bike, it won't go nowhere. It'll just beat the hell out of the piston.
Yeah.
So, and that's where Mark would come into my head, because when I was working on my KX250, learning to ride it, I wanted to ride it like 125, and I was getting hurt. And he's like, "No, you can't do that. You got to roll it on. You can't wick it on yet." And so I learned with that 490, you can leave it in third on that track and out muscle everybody.
Yeah.
Well, we went out, and one of my best friends, Billy Harbor, he doesn't race anymore, but I mean, me and him had some nasty battles.
Yeah.
I mean, there was times where it was going to get like, we're going to hospital just because we're dumb and we wanted a piece of plastic.
Yeah, right.
And we still do it to this day.
Yeah.
And I remember we got into the first turn. We both come together and just smacked. And I went down, and that thing went and high-sided me. And it bent the handlebar down Magoo style. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go. So I got it fired back up and started hitting these triples, going over like this. And everybody's like, what the hell? So we got new bars on it for the next, and there was a big triple in the back that I hadn't hit. None of us were hitting it on the vintage bike. I mean, it's 130 feet across.
It's a big one.
And it was a dragon's back. So it went here, here, here. And if you overjump, you're screwed, because it was a sand section. So, and it was deep sand. I don't know. I haven't been to Chili Town in like 2 years, so I don't know if it's still that way. I'll find out this year.
Yeah, right.
And Michael Willard was jumping it. Well, Scott thought it'd be funny to put us in the 30 plus A class. It was just me and Billy left. Everybody else's shit broke.
Yeah.
I got the whole shot. Now I'm shitting a brick.
Yeah.
Because I can hear Willard coming.
Oh, yeah.
So I let Willard by. Kilburger's coming around. James Justice, all those big dogs.
All the big fast kids.
Oh, the big kids, dude.
The kids that I, like, those names still ring a bell to me, you know.
They're like, still fast as hell.
Oh, God, yeah.
And, well, I seen Willard and Kilburger were going for it over that jump. And I'm close to them. I mean, as close as a squid can be, you know.
Yeah.
And
fuck it.
Because the bike jumped like a modern bike. It didn't do any of that weird shit. So I jumped it.
You're sending
caught it out of the corner of my eye. everybody's going over the fence, like, oh my God, it's going to break.
Yeah.
And I come through and I started tripling into the rollers. And then you get down through there. And
was that the monoshock that went up to the frame?
Yes, that was the last year of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that shock, my God, it's this big, about that big around.
Yeah.
And I mean, the shock body itself probably weighs 30 pounds.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it was set up for Rich. Rich is like 6'5", 6'6", 230 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'11", $160.
Yeah, but you're jumping and
it worked great. And I was teasing him after that. I won the championship. We had one round left, and I said, "Can I ride it in the next round?" He goes, "Yeah." It was at Chilitown again. So I had that bike dialed. You know, we won that. It was my first ever championship. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot of help.
Yeah.
And so after the race, he was taking it home. I didn't even get the chance to wash it because I didn't want to give it up.
Oh.
And I told him, I said, if you ever go to sell that bike, please let me know. I want that bike.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get a Mako 500. I think it was the 84 490, which at that time was like an M Star or whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, if I get that, I'll sell this bike because I know you won your championship on there.
Yep.
And about a month and a half later, he called me and said, "Yours, come get it."
Come get it.
So that's how I got the 500. And you know, it was cool, especially, and I'm not going to name names because it don't matter. But I'll never forget this. I had somebody tell me, we were sitting at the track one day, and they were pretty prominent at the time. Logan, you need to quit riding old bikes. You'll never win anything on those, and you will never, no one will care.
Yeah.
At the championship banquet, that person was there. I shook their hand and I said, "You were wrong.
You need to quit riding old bikes."
Yep. So, you know, and it was cool. And I'm not that kind of person, but it was just sweet.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and so we did that. We did the vintage stuff. I still do. But, you know, getting to do I call it cross training. If you can ride that beta fast and hard, you can get on an old bike and ain't nothing.
You can just fly on it.
You go, and that's like Jack. Like going back to Jack, watching him on that 125. He's Mark said he's doing stuff on it that bike's really not supposed to be doing. And it's like, but he got finesse.
Yeah,
and that's what it takes.
Yeah, it takes that special rider to be able to do stuff on a bike that you shouldn't be doing. You know, that's what separates them from us. You know?
Yeah,
I mean. Not you, but for me, you know.
I hope to get there someday.
Yeah, you'll definitely get there someday. So you got that coming up. Then further series, and then you're done until next year.
No, so after the Buckeye series, I'm really going to try to go after the 25 plus AB championship on the beta. It's weird getting to be 25 years old, and I see her.
Yeah,
she's just happy to be
chilling,
here. Yeah, and it's really weird that they're calling 25 plus a vet class. That kind of makes me feel icky.
Listen, dude, I'm a couple years from 50 plus, definitely 45 plus. I'm 47 years old. So if I was to ever do something, which there's no plans, there's nothing in the works at all.
Now.
There's nothing in the works at all.
We'll get them out there.
The only thing I would even really consider doing, if I'm being completely honest, would be a team race, and I'd do it with my brother.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would ever really consider doing would be a team race with him, you know, kind of thing. Just because, you know, it's Chris, and I think it'd be kind of cool to do
Chris
one of those.
Chris is an animal, dude.
He's funny. I love him.
I love
obviously,
Chris.
Yeah. Obviously, he's my brother, but you know what I mean. Yeah, he's definitely one of those people that'll just do anything for you. So
absolutely,
yeah. So, but so you got after the Buckeye series, you're going after the 25 plus AB track.
Yep.
And is that going to be a 62? Is that going to be a Briarcliff?
Yeah, I think he's going to 62. Chilitown East Fork is this coming weekend. Again, weather permitting. I know we're getting more rain tonight.
Yeah.
Like we need it, you know. And then I did last year for the first time. 62 has that indoors.
Yeah.
And so I did the indoor Ohio Amateur Supercross series, and Jimmy puts on a kick-ass series because the track's different every time.
I know I rode up there, be the second time. It was the first time ever riding my KX I just put together.
Okay.
And the second time I had ridden since I came back because I rode Chris's bike at Honda Hills, and then we went up to 62. And dude, there was a gnarly snowstorm that happened when we was in the building. It was gnarly, but that track was cool.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun on it.
Oh, it's great. And, I did the Vintage Open, and I only had 1 or 2 guys that came the whole time, but it was cool because it was just seat time.
Mhm.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Just getting seat time because, with my job and I can't go to Florida and train for 3 months
Yeah.
and whatnot. I'm going to be fair. I don't like the sand. I don't care what anybody says, how cool it is. Hayden, Fergie, all you guys. I'll ride the sand pits here in town with the boys.
Uh-huh.
And they know I hate every
minute of it.
But
Yeah.
it makes you a better rider.
It does. It does. I was with you when I was racing stuff. I hated the sand. I couldn't stand it. Same with the mud. Couldn't stand the mud.
I don't mind mud.
Oh, I couldn't stand the mud. I was a fair weather rider. Like if it was perfect conditions, I was having a blast.
Yeah.
But hated the mud, hated the sand. But yeah. Back to 62 though, what you were saying earlier, and it reminded me, Mark and I talked about a little bit on the last podcast about how brought the community of motocross into my other levels of competition in the profession I'm at. But it just reminded me, I was struggling really heavily with jetting on my bike. So once I got it started when it was super cold, because it would start, but then it went super lean and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then once it was warm, it wouldn't start. But anyways, literally had 3 guys push bump start me so I could go out and practice.
Yeah.
And didn't know who they were at all.
Yeah.
No, they were just like, hey, I need help. So they would help me start it. The one guy kicked it. And once I got going, it was perfectly cool. So it just reminded me of that community that you're talking about of like, yeah, dude, let's fucking do this. Get this shit started. You can't ride if it don't start. I'll fucking help you, like pushing me start. Yeah. So it was just reminded me how community based, even though it's super competitive.
Oh, 100%. Well, that's like, with indoors, they put me with the 50+ class every weekend that we did that. And I loved it because, and I don't care who you are, Apex Motorsports was announcing it and they were super nice. I still hadn't, it wasn't until 6 months ago that I really like clicked on a bike.
Okay.
I was competitive, but like, Matt Winland, Jack's dad, said it the best. It's cool to see you progress because you're not just hitting jumps because they're there. You're hitting a jump a certain way to set you up now. And indoors taught me that because, you got those 50+ guys, and I don't care what anybody says. They're all like Mark.
Mm-hmm.
They got 45 years of ass whooping, canned up, and it's just a crack, and they're going. And, I'm on that KX 125, and it's not fast.
Mm-hmm.
They're all on 450s. Mm-hmm. So I have to go squirm into a hole this big in the first turn and start out turning them because I want to beat the whole gate.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're 90 years old.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to race you.
Exactly. It's a race.
And it was really cool. I got to meet some really legit dudes. I had a couple guys at Mid-Ohio. They were like, dude, you helped me out a lot this year. I needed pushed and you pushed me. And it was like, well, I needed pushed and you guys pulled some bullshit 1978 move on me. And now I get to use that. And
that little trick that nobody knows about that they figured out on their own. Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't have the internet. So like every guy, like especially like Mark in his podcast talked about, and I use this all the time, and all my friends usually fall for it. Get up high in the corner because they know you're there.
Yeah.
Show them a wheel and rev it.
Yep.
And then they'll come up to the top,
and
especially like indoors. They'll come up to the top of the corner, blocking you.
Yep, just drop down.
And you're good. But it's just stuff like that it's insane how good this sport and community is. Like Hayden, the kid I call my little brother. Mm-hmm. We were indoors and he was riding really good. But there's this he's hitting these dumbass jumps. But there's this double he wouldn't hit. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing, bro? You're hitting this stupid ass triple that I've been riding for a couple years now, and this thing's weird. It's like a hip jump. Mm-hmm. And if you clip it, you're going over the handlebars. It's just, that's what you're doing. You're not hitting this little double. And so I started talking to him, mm-hmm. Just didn't know him from Adam.
Yeah.
And I said, hey man, you look really good out there. Hit that fucking jump.
Yeah.
And he's like, huh? I'm like, just hit it. And he hit it.
He hit it.
And he come over in the pit and we got to talking and whatnot. And I got him on the Snapchat.
The Snapchat.
And I'm gonna call it the Facebook now.
It's such an old guy move. I felt
Oh,
as soon
dude.
as I said it, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I like it though. That's funny. But so, added him on that, and he started, "Hey, I'm struggling in a corner or whatever. How do I do this?" And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "You're like a big brother to me." I said, I got 3 sisters, and I'm blessed with them.
Yeah.
A wonderful mother and family, and a dad and my grandpa and everybody. But I never had a little brother.
Yeah.
Fergie's like a brother, but he's not little. I mean, he acts like a goofball like me, but I don't look at him as a little brother.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Hayden's like my little brother.
Yeah.
And so, it was cool. Unfortunately, this past weekend he took a little bit of a spill. He's kind of banged up, but he's okay.
He's okay.
The bike's okay.
Yeah.
So he's good.
Isn't that the weirdest thing though, that what you just said there? The bike's okay. The first fucking thought, you could be laying there broke to shit. I mean, and it's like, where's my bike? Is my bike okay? That's the first thing you ask, no matter what happens. If you're wadded up or you're being taken out in the ambulance, it's like,
Where's the bike?
where's the bike? Is the bike okay?
Yeah.
Like it's like such a, yeah. It's just one of those things.
Well,
I don't think that mortals understand.
No, well, and that's where going back to Mark's old KX250.
Yeah.
So when we built the KX125, and I'll send you pictures of that stuff.
Yeah.
We built the KX125 and built the KX250. We built the 250 first. And we did the old school blue, white, and green. Going retro.
Yeah.
Which don't call a 2000s bike vintage. It's a millennium bike.
Yeah.
I am that snob. Like, I don't like being that way, but like, it's like, calling that bike vintage is calling me vintage because I was born in 2000.
Oh yeah.
And so, we built that bike, and it's even by modern standards, if I had to race a 500 class, I'd still pick that 250 because it's just as fast.
Yeah.
But it turns better. And we were at 62. And this was the layout that Jimmy had, because now the track goes backwards, but it used to go the other way around. And he had this giant downhill triple, and only guys like Jack and Kilbarger and them were hitting it. Well, my throttle stuck open earlier in that practice. And again, this is the one time my old man's not with me. Pap's not with me. I got scared.
Yeah.
Okay, I cleaned the throttle tube. Nothing's sticking now. Okay. I go back out. I'm riding. And I'm young at that time. I'm still young, but inexperienced rider. One of my favorite riders is Bob Hanna.
Yeah.
If you know Bob Hanna, you know how he rode. Well, this guy was really taking up real estate, so I politely pushed him out of the way.
Yes.
The bike stuck open wide. 4th gear over this jump I'd never hit. It goes straight up. And I had enough time to go, oh shit, this is going to hurt so bad. And I slammed down, and that wasn't what broke me. It was the bounce.
Yes, the bounce. Yep.
And my friend Rich, his wife Paula, is a photographer. She was taking pictures of it. Took pictures of me going down and crushing my collarbone, knocked myself out. And I remember just going, oh yeah. And the guy that I shoved off the track was the first one to pick me up. Never said a thing.
Yeah.
And if you ever watch this, dude, I apologize. That was not a cool thing of me to do. I'll be the first to admit that.
Yeah.
But we'll get into the fun shoves later.
Dude, how tough do we have to fucking be to do this sport? I mean, we've all been there, crumbled up, and you have to get up, and you have to. Hey, give you one tough son of a bitch to do this sport. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately.
I saw this thing on the Facebook the other day.
Love it.
It says, no one understands how much heart and commitment it takes in motocross to even be mediocre.
Yeah.
And it's the truth.
Yeah.
And so after I'm there wadded up, Robert Alt was helping at the track at the time. I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Picks me up, picks the bike up. And I said, how's the bike? And I didn't notice my shoulder was in my armpit. And I said, oh, the bike looks good. Broke a shifter, bent the bars. It's good. I'm going to fire it back. Well, I went to grab it, and my arm fell down into my armpit. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
And I couldn't really grab anything with my hand. And it was weird. So I rode it back to the trailer, and Rich was there. He goes, dude, are you okay? I said, no. I heard money crumpling in my ear, so something broke.
Yeah.
And he goes, looked at my neck. My neck was okay. I said, I got to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Well, of course, my grandparents are better now after this. They were outside. They didn't have their phones on them.
Yeah.
And I couldn't call them. I called my mom first because my mom has a medical background.
Yeah.
She was busy doing, I think she was at my sister's cheer or something. So
course,
whatever. Yeah. So I was like, I got to call Pat.
Mm-hmm.
No one would answer. So I had him load up the bike. When I went to take my shirt off, I could hear go, I'm like, oh, what was that? And it felt like hot water. You know how you always hear about the hot water getting poured on. So it felt like someone was pouring a boiling pot of water on me. I'm like, no. And I reached up and I was like,
sick to the stomach feeling, the hot flash. Yeah.
And Jimmy's come running over, and Jimmy, God bless him, said, I got the ambulance on the way. I said, Jimmy, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
He goes, what were you going to do? I said, I'm going to drive myself home. What? I was driving an hour home to Zanesville.
Yeah.
So I finally got someone to answer, and I said, meet me in the driveway. And my grandpa knew me automatically. He goes, what'd you do? I said, it broke my collarbone.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, how are you getting home? I said, I'm on 146 right now. He's like, what are you doing, dude? I'm like, I'll be there. So we got there, unloaded the bike first.
Yep.
And then we went to the hospital. And that girl wanted to take 35 or 36 x-rays in the ER. And usually.
And like this and like this.
Oh, yeah.
And
She's
like,
can you raise it? I said,
no, I can't move it.
Broke.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I don't know if you know Dr. Gasparini here in Zanesville. He's my ortho. I walk in the next day and he goes, what'd you do? I said, you know what I did? Look at the x-rays. And he's like, they don't need plated. I said, please put a plate in it.
Yeah.
I want to ride next week.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, no. And he didn't put a plate in it.
Oh, really?
So he made me
the
8 weeks out. I was pissed.
Yeah.
And, but I never touched that bike afterwards. I'm rebuilding it now. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I figured out it. So the Yamaha and the Cowies don't have a center case gasket. It's glued. The glued failed. Right under the crank. So it just
sucking air.
It was just a vacuum cleaner at that point. So, stuff like that happens. And that was like Hayden this weekend. And I felt so bad for his parents because they were worried. They were scared. I mean, he was behind me. And at one point I knew it was muddy. I mean, it's what we had.
Yes, what you got now.
And he was doing fine in practice. He wadded it pretty hard and ended up on the watering truck road, not the track.
Oh, shit.
I think if he was in the mud, he'd been fine.
Yeah.
And his parents were pretty nervous and stuff. And, I told him, I said, it'll be okay. And I definitely see both sides of it.
Yeah.
Because even after my collarbone, it's like, it's scary. Well,
yeah.
Then you get over it.
I mean, you get over it, but it still hits your.
That's why I didn't touch that bike for a while.
Because I fractured my scapula at Honda Hills.
I got you.
And this was when it was the old track. Scott and Deidre owned it.
Yep.
And it was on a practice day. I want to say it was 2000. Might have been 99 or 2000. I was on a YZ250 and went up to start, turned left, dropped on that tabletop, and then it swooped around the hill. And you had right when I got in the air, I seen them and I was like, fuck. I started screaming. My brother Chris obviously heard it, looks up. These two guys, this one guy had crashed and his buddy came to help him. And he stood the bikes up together in the middle of that little.
Oh.
And I was in the air already and boom, and flipped forward. Like it ragdogged me I hit the ground so hard. I broke my scapula. Didn't fracture my collarbone, but broke my scapula. Remember getting up. And of course, I said a few choice words to that guy. And it's like, what fucking idiot doesn't just pull both bikes off the track? You know what I mean? Like really, like, and so.
At least get one off.
Yeah. I get down there and, Chris was like, you all right? No, man, I can't fucking lift my arm. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. And Deidre's coming out and she's like checking me out. She's getting ice. Exactly. And I was like, okay, I got to go to the hospital, but I'm not paying for an ambulance.
Yeah.
So I think that wasn't that time that Chris drove. Chris actually had to drive when he was 14.
Oh, hell yeah.
We were down at Reno Raceway practicing one day.
Oh, Reno.
Yeah. And I'm just literally goofing off. Just do. Go around a corner and I have my foot out like this, just on the peg, and I fell. And when I did it, snapped my leg.
Oh, you did a Joe Green.
Yeah. And I couldn't drive home. Chris, 14 years old in Ford Ranger. I said, we get pulled over,
Yeah, you got.
You
I think
yeah.
Matt had to drive Mark the same situation. I think it was at Sunday Creek.
Yeah.
That he did that.
Mm,
And he was telling me about that.
It's like, so Chris, here he is driving me to the hospital. He's 14 years old because I snapped my shit up.
Yeah.
You know, but he didn't drive me that time. I think that might have been the time Brad Silver took me to the hospital because of that. But yeah, like it's just like, you know, and then I was out for 8 weeks, but that really lingered in back of my head. And then my crash at COCR when I got some compression fractures in my back, that's what really slowed me down.
Well, that's the thing too. Like you can hear my everything cracks and pops. Well, not especially the vintage. Like you wake up the next morning, you feel like a Peterbilt truck just hit you, and everyone's like, "Why do you do this?" I was like, "I love it.
Yeah, it's fun."
And then I was, you know, I'm sure I know Mark said he had told you I did the whole rock band, rock star thing, did all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, my body hurts, but I wouldn't trade it. And it's funny because we're all talking about I can't afford an ambulance. And it's funny because it's like we'll drop 10K on a bike. But we're not taking a 2,600 or however much an ambulance ride is now. Like we're not doing that shit. That's bike money.
That and I think it's also a little bit of a pride thing, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so because your friend's driving you to the hospital and you pull up and they don't realize the severity until they see you, and then they're like, "Oh my God, why didn't you call an ambulance?" It's like, why would I call an ambulance? I'm okay, and find out that you're not okay. But you know, but your buddy drove you to the hospital, and they're just you walk in like, "What? Can we help you?" Yeah, I need to be seen. I was just in an accident. Why didn't you bring the ambulance? Well, cause it's like a badge. Yeah, it's a badge of honor. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I ain't paying for that. Yeah, you're right. It's like I ain't paying for that. I got a perfectly fine vehicle. I'm not near death.
Yeah, no,
I'm not near death. Yes, I'm broken. Yes, I'm hurt. Yes, it sucks, but I'm not near death.
No.
If I was near death, life flight me. Do whatever I need to do, whatever you need to do at that point. But if I can move, I'm going to move and I'll be okay, you know?
Well, that's like my grandpa. Funny story. Wasn't funny at the time. My grandma still gets pissed when you talk about this.
Oh, shit.
Is your computer good?
Let me make sure. Yeah, we're still recording.
Right, cool.
I don't know what happened there, but yeah, we're still recording.
That's my ADHD. If something moves in a room, I'm like,
no,
what's that?
Thank you, because I didn't look over at it. But yeah, we're at 1 hour and 22 minutes in. We're still recording. We haven't stopped yet. Yep.
Well, that was the thing. So my grandpa, before the Four Strokes came out, right? And see, I remember this stuff as a kid at Weaver's. And, you know, like you had the 426F.
Yeah.
The 400F was before my time, which is funny because
97, 98.
If you race vintage, a 79 YZ 400 is called a 400F.
Oh.
So when I talk about a 400F, I'm not talking about
a 1998 400. Yeah.
So I remember it's been 2003 because it was right before he got the first Honda 450. And I remember, and it's vague, but it's weird how you remember stuff like that. I remember standing right there. Shannon, it was either Shannon or Joe Green's sister, Jenny. It gave me a shredded chicken sandwich and a sweet tea.
Okay.
That's still my favorite combo at the track. And it was right there in front of the double. And my grandpa had that 400 trail bike, but he made it a motocross bike, and it was a good one. And I remember him and some in the corner before it got together, and Bill Leake and all of them guys come running out, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? Oh, your papaw's all good. Oh, okay. And then like a week later, I remember this too, because I mean, I still do everything with my grandpa, you know? And he went home. He went riding, but he didn't come home.
Oh.
And Mamaw was running to the hospital, and I asked my mom, I remember going, Mommy, where's Papa at? Trailer's not here. And she goes, oh, Papa had a dirt bike accident. I said, oh, okay. You know, I thought it was just like me in the yard with a P-dub.
Exactly,
or something. He had went with Terry Sheets and those guys, and Spillman, a couple of them crazy woods, like Dave Page and those guys.
Yeah.
Down to Perry.
Oh.
And I guess they went up this like 30, 40 foot high wall and come down the end, and my grandpa, you know, took a tumble. it ended up, I think, getting what's that thing? Compressing a lung,
Oh,
doing something like that, getting all weeded up. I
yeah.
mean, weeded his shit up.
Yeah.
And he was in a hospital. I remember going and seeing him. He had like drainage tubes and stuff. And I remember he still talks about this. Asked my grandma, come back, can you bring me my dirt bike magazines? And she goes, that's what you want to worry about? You want to worry about your dirt bike stuff?
I need that motocross action.
Yeah.
I'm going to be laying here for a minute.
Yeah.
I need that motocross action magazine.
And I'm the same way. Like,
yeah.
I got weeded up, figured out how to, thankfully I'm right-handed, so it was my left, and I'm all strapped in like this. I was like, okay, I got to work on it like this and do this. And, you know,
what is that? The sling and swath or something like that? To where, I had one too.
Well, it's funny that night too, because when I broke my collarbone, I know I'm all over the place, but
it's racing, bro.
I remember getting home and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to shower. I don't care if I'm nasty. I'm gonna get a bath, try to just soak my back, because my back was killing me too.
Yeah.
You know, and I locked the bathroom door. You know, got in there, and I walked in, and I fell in the damn bathtub on the wrong side. And my grandparents heard, fuck. And they're like, you all right in there? I'm like, no, yes, I'm all right. You need help? No. I'm just embarrassed.
Yeah, I just kind of fell. Yeah.
And then I think as of now, the only bone I've broke, I don't want to jinx myself here. Greer's had their first vintage race. You know, at the time when Greer's first opened, I helped out as much as could because I wanted to be a part of it. You know, that was.
Yeah, are they still going?
I know Dave had some ankle problems and stuff that he's trying to heal up from. I hope that they come back. I mean, I love that track. It's 10 minutes from the house on the highway.
Yeah, it's just right across the road there.
Yeah, you're real close.
Yeah, real close. We used to be able to hear them, you know what I mean, riding and stuff like that.
So I started weed eating stuff out there and trying to help take care of the property and stuff. And doing that. So we had this vintage race coming up. And we were putting out track markers and stuff. And in practice, there's you remember that horseshoe corner? So you come up.
I never rode there.
Okay, so you would come up. There was this big sweeping corner uphill off camber by the house driveway.
Okay.
And then it did, you know, there was different variations, tabletops, doubles, whatever. You did that and you come down this corner. But what always stayed the same was a downhill triple. And I loved that jump. And then this giant uphill double, and it kind of come off as a sweeping turn. And then it went like this, and it was always muddy there because there was a spring. And then it went into, I call it the horseshoe turn, because it was really shaped like a horseshoe. And everybody cut it into the tire. I was one of them. And because it was just a faster line.
Yeah.
Well, I put a tomato stake, one of those 1x1 tomato stakes in there. I said, ain't no one cutting that corner. Guess who cut that corner? I come in there, and I remember I was racing Joe Gretchen. He was on that Mako 490. And I was on the RM125. You know, he's older, so I was going to get by him. But, I mean, he still hauls ass.
Yeah.
Love you, Joe. And I come around, and I felt something go, whap, on my clutch hand. Didn't think anything of it. I mean, it hurt like hell. Stinging. Could feel it clear up to my funny bone.
Oh.
And I was like, oh. Anyways, I got to go. And we got off the track, and my knuckle had shrank. So if you look at it, like, I can't even hold my pinky right anymore because of how it is. And it shrank. And Joe Green's wife, Megan, God bless her. Megan has always been my go-to because I went to Muskingum University, and she works there. So if I got messed up at the track, I didn't go to the doctor.
No, you went to there.
I went to Megan because she was she taught PT and stuff like that for physical therapy and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to Megan first. And if Megan said go get checked out, then we'll. So she goes, yeah, you broke your hand right here, and your knuckle just came back. I was like, okay. She goes, you probably be done for the day. I said, I got 4 more motos.
Yeah.
She's like, what?
Yeah, I got to do
So
it.
Joe, Mark, I can't remember if Matt was there or not. Everybody got my hand wrapped up a certain way, and I raced the rest of the day. And at the time, I was working at the health department here as the mosquito tech. I was the mosquito guy in town. So I'm at work, and my hand's like this big around. It looks like Wreck-It Ralph's hand, and it's like purple. And my mom was working the window at the time in this environmental. And she goes, buddy, you need to go
The hospital.
to at least ortho and have them check it out. I was like, oh, it's fine. But I mean, I couldn't even go like this with my hand. And she goes, no. And everyone's like, Logan, we'll give you an extra hour lunch. Go to ortho. So I went to ortho and they're like, oh, dude, you destroyed that knuckle. And so they did everything, put it together. So I had to sit out, but it's like, going back to it, we talk about it, it's like, you got to have a weird pain tolerance to do this dumb shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the grand scheme of things, when you try to explain to someone, like if any of my high school friends look at this shit and they're like I've had some of them go, why do you do that?
Yeah, they don't, it doesn't compute in some people's brain. Perfect example is Christopher. Pretty good musician.
Yeah.
Yep. Didn't play an instrument until he was 14. You know how that happened? He jumped on my 125 one day when we were out practicing. He swapped and hit a tree, cut his liver. Was in the hospital. And
shit.
Yeah, that motherfucker's one tough little shit because he got up and I remember him. He's just like, my insides just hurt. And I was like, are you all right? He's like, I don't think so, but I'm going to ride a little bit more. He jumped back on his 80 and he rode a little bit and he came around and he's just like, I mean, I don't feel right,
Yeah.
So they jumped in the truck and they headed to the hospital, and the doctor was talking to us and they said he's got a 50-50 chance to make it through the night. So I went in.
Oh, wow.
Went into his room and I said, hey man, what is it? One thing you've always wanted, you know what I mean? Like, I was doing the whole, and he's like, I just want a guitar. So I got on the phone immediately. We didn't have cell phones, you know what I mean? So I went back to my house, got on the phone immediately, found a friend that had it was like a combo guitar amp kit or whatever. And I took it to him and he made it through the night, obviously, because he's still here, but he started to learn how to play because he couldn't ride, because he had cut his liver because his rib had come down when the bars hit him or something like that. And I don't remember if that was before or after his arm. I think it was after his arm. But we were practicing at a track and he was on his 80 and I was on a 125 and we were swapping back and forth. You know what I mean? Just trying to, pace it. Well, he was doubling and I was tripling. And I went off of the face and I heard him whoop. And so I knew he was coming up short. Well, he came up short. When he did, he gassed it and he was coming right on the third one as I was coming down. And I was right on top of him. Like I lost him. Like I seen him and I lost him. I knew I was going to land on his neck. So I pushed the bike out of the way and flew off to the side where foot peg came down, snapped his arm in half.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking compound fracture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm rolling around the ground. I get up and I go over to him and he's just like, something wrong with my arm. Something wrong with my arm. I was like, there's something wrong with your arm. There's something wrong with my arm. So we pull his sleeve up and we're like, fuck.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
We got to get him to the hospital. So they jump in the truck and gave him to the hospital. But if he goes like this, he's still got one arm shorter than the other because when they set it, it didn't heal right. So they had to re-break it. 6 weeks later, they had to re-break it and reset it. And so he still has one arm shorter than the other because of that. So I can't remember. It was all within a year span. All this happened. Yeah. So he had a lot of downtime to learn how to play guitar and stuff. So that's how he became a good musician, is because, he decided to ride his big brother's bike and then his big brother decided to break his fucking arm.
Well, I can't see. That's what's funny. Someone asked me the other day, they said, how'd you meet Chappie? I said, I think we were playing guitar.
Yeah.
Because before Moto, like I said, I didn't have any interest. So I was like, my favorite band's Kiss. I'm wearing a Kiss.
Yep, I see it.
This is an original 78 necklace.
Yeah.
That obsession started when I was like 3 years old. My grandparents got me this Kiss poster, and it's them on the Empire State Building. And I remember seeing Gene Simmons just like this, and he got these big ass boots that are like snakes, and he's like this. I was like, what the hell is that? That's cool.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to play guitar. And I remember they sold my PW50. That's how I got my first amp and guitar combo.
Yeah.
And so I taught myself. So throughout the years of high school, when I wasn't riding, I was jamming.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I met Chris.
Yeah, he was real heavy in that scene, especially like the early hardcore punk rock days. And then he went through a standard rock, and then he was doing the country. Yeah. And now Braver does like kind of a mixture of like both. So it's on Apple Music if y'all want to check it out.
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely.
it's pretty out. Yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, that's how he got started in music because obviously we love music. Him and I like
Oh yeah.
love music. Music's huge, but that's how he got started. Is that he got hurt and he had a lot of downtime, and we weren't sure if he was going to make it through the night. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
they were like, we can't get the bleeding stopped. You know what I mean? We're probably going to have to operate, but we got a 50-50 chance of him making it through the night because it's his
Wow.
liver. And you know, at that point, you know, obviously the emotions hit, and you're just like,
yeah.
oh shit.
That's your little brother.
Yeah, exactly. So I go in, I'm like, what do you want? And he's like, I was like, I don't care what I have to spend at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't have kids or anything at that point or nothing like that.
yeah.
So it was like I'm getting this fucking car for him.
Yeah.
So that's how he learned how to play and become a musician because he had a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was that year span of either the arm happened first or the liver happened first. I can't remember. He will have to correct me because I'm sure he remembers correct
Oh, yeah.
exactly when it happened. I remember both accidents. I just don't remember if they were in the same year or the same calendar year, whatever, like that. But I still remember he was on the CR80 when both of them happened. But he just decided because I was on the YZ250, and he decided to jump on my YZ125, and he just out there riding or whatever, and you know I'm doing laps, and he was there, and then he wasn't there. Whatever, I thought he'd just pulled off. You know what I mean? Sit and chill and talk, and everything. Come back around. Oh, okay. Come back around the third lap, and he's like, he'd gotten himself up and got the bike going. You know what I mean? And which was funny because he had to start on a hill, you know, to get going because he was so short. And so I'm just like, what happened? And like I said, he's one tough little dude because he's had, you know, like, oh man, it's just I just don't feel right. It just like hurts inside, like hurts really bad inside. So yeah, so those crashes definitely hurt, but. I think we kind of went on a tangent there a little bit, but Chris did. He got to learn how to play music because of that, and but it always funnels back because now he's back riding and he got me back into it. So it's just kind of one of those weird evolutions.
Absolutely, and you know that's where and I'm so blessed. We can get to that part where Mark really helped me get a relationship with God, and I couldn't be more thankful for that. But that's where you look back and it's like looking at a lot of my friends that after I got so heavily criticized for doing dirt bikes. A lot of people in the music, they're like, they're straight up, that's gay. Dirt bikes are for kids. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yes. It wasn't the music scene for me that was saying that, but in high school a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See,
what'd you do? Fuck your dirt bike in the tailpipe and all that shit. And I was like, I'm wearing dirt bike shirts in my senior year in school and shit. You know what I mean? And they're just like busting my balls and stuff. But what they don't understand is like, I graduated from Philo.
I gotcha.
A lot of fast riders in there. Jimmy Swartz, Troy Swartz. There was a lot of just really fast kids that came out of there. So there was a lot of us doing dirt bikes, but I think maybe I was just the most. I stood out a lot because I colored my hair purple and green and all kinds of different.
Yeah, see, that's cool.
Exactly.
But that was your era.
Yes, that was the era that I was in. So, but yeah, it was like I remember the kids in school like making fun of the dirt bike shit. So I feel you on that one. I feel you.
Well, and that's where it's like I look now and I'm so blessed because it's like those guys are all burnt out. Like I see a lot of them that are still trying to make it as the next big thing, and they're like playing to 5 people in a bar, and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
And, I did it. And in college, I got to play a little bit of some stuff. And, I had a great time doing it. But I remember, I was in a frat, but dirt bikes came first.
Yeah.
So we'd be at a party, and a lot of people think I'm a good kid and I didn't drink. I'd get shit-faced. I'd get trashed. But I knew when to stop.
Yeah.
Because
I got a race.
We'd be at the sleep. I never did on a race weekend. I never went and partied on. That was one thing I promised my grandpa. I'd never ruin motocross that way. Because, going off on a tangent here, his generation was you had guys like him and Mark. Mark's younger. So, and especially with Charlie and Donna, he wasn't going out and doing that. But like him, Rick Callandine, and a couple of their guys, they would all go out and go have whatever beer and go party. I mean, that was the 70s, early 80s.
That's what you did. That's what they did.
That's what they did. And even pros did that till RC come around.
Yeah.
And so, he always made me not promise him, but I always made a promise to him. I'm not going to ruin moto because of that.
Yeah.
And so I'd go get, go party.
Yeah.
And then I made sure I was all right. So that way, when I woke up, we'd be at the frat house. I had my own little couch.
Yeah.
And everyone would be asleep till like 2:00 in the afternoon. I left that house at like 6:30, 7:00. Go home, stop, get breakfast, go load the bike up, do that. I couldn't do that now.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
If I have a glass of water before bed now, it's like, that's where like I get teased a lot by a lot of the guys at the track because they're like, "You're grandpa now, dude. You're 25.
You're 25. You're a grandpa."
And it's like, you move, and it's like those years are like, again, not trying to, like suck up to them, but like Jack, Gavin, Kilbarger, Willard, all those fast guys that I hang out with have been more than instrumental in getting me to this point, because it's like, I really think that I'm still playing a catch-up game, and that's where, I try to be the nicest person I can ever be on a track now. That you piss me off. I'm like Bob Hanna. I would never start anything.
Yeah.
But I will finish
You'll
it.
finish it.
And that's just where Mark and all those old guys ruined me.
Yeah.
But, like, I got guys that are some of my best friends, and they're faster than me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like this generation.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where, and I'm talking to a lot of them, not at them, but with them. Like, social media has ruined the sport in some ways, because it's all about getting that post, but you have to get these sponsors. And because they want to keep tabs, and now it's easier than ever. It's not like Mark's day or even your generation where you had to write a handwritten letter or type it up and send it. And usually,
you sent out. You never heard shit back. You sent out resumes, and you had all your stats listed, and you might get a percentage off here or there, and then it definitely, it was a lot different. But I do know now, from what I've seen and heard, is like, it isn't about who can go the fastest anymore.
It's about how you present yourself.
Exactly.
Well, and that's where, back to Jack. I mean, and everybody's instrumental. Jack, Willard especially, James Justice especially, they have a standard. You represent yourself. And for me, I represent my family and Mark and all my sponsors. So I see a lot of these guys that I'm friends with just absolutely talking shit. And don't get me wrong, I'll get down with some shit talk.
Oh, yeah, no.
You have to.
There's basketball street talk for sure in moto, and you just have to. It's part
just
of the
part
game.
of it. But
it's just part of the game. And it's usually good natured.
Exactly. Like me and one of my best friends, Tucker. Tucker and I have, it's his track, but it's a private track. And we're going to keep it that way.
That's right.
But I mean, we're assholes to each other when we go practice. And it's not because we want to see each other just
get better,
eat everybody alive. And we'll be going through a corner, and I'll be like, dude, you're a dumpster fire through there. You look like shit. and he's like, okay. And he'll clean it up.
Yeah.
And then you got me. I was struggling with corners because I got faster, and I was Gary Simmons. If you know who that is.
Yeah, definitely.
Gary Simmons partially came out of retirement for me because Gary and I have constant contact, and he's always wanting videos and helping me. And he's like, look, dude, you are this much, you're here now, but your eyes are still looking here. So we're working on stuff. But, Tucker and I do that all the time. And I have friends that are getting faster that change. And I'm sure you guys had that too. Like, they got fast and like this.
I mean, there probably was some of that. But I came up through with, like, I was talking to Mark, and I was saying, the sports is locally and Weaver and everything locally. But like, the kids that I kind of was grouped with, even though I might have been a little bit older, was Dunaway, Burkhart, the Moose, Willards, both of the Willards. And, if I'm being completely honest, they never had that. Like, I mean, Michael is a Canadian champion, like Canadian national champion multi times.
Yeah.
Like, the dude is legitimate, professional, and does the shit. And to be completely honest with you, I never felt, because there was so much, there's so much speed, but every single one of them, none of them changed.
No.
Like, literally, when Mark Burkhart was at the top of winning the, what was that, Supermoto or whatever it was, he was the shit. In Las Vegas, when he pulled the whole shot on his KTM that one year, 125 class, when he first went out there, literally come back to Ohio and still talk to me like I was a normal person, like there was no big deal. Like, so I guess we didn't really have that, because you had a little bit of fame.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like today.
You didn't have social media that spread
exactly, yeah.
Well, that's going back to, like, my guys, like, I got some friends that were like that.
Mhm.
They usually come back down to earth once they plateau, because you have that. You're always on a step.
Yep.
And one thing that Mark and my grandpa and everybody instilled was, the faster you get, the more humble you need to be. And when a perfect example was Chilitown. I was real bad about letting the emotions get the best of me. We were at Chilitown, and his name was Zane something. And he went down in, like, the second turn, started physically pushing people over, pushed me over. I'd already had a bad day in practice.
Yeah.
I lost my cool and turned into Weston Pike. I beat the shit out of this kid. I grabbed him by the chin bar. I could just bang in his chin and grabbed him. I could see where his chest protector stopped, started punching him. And Scott disqualified me because of that, rightfully so.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a bullshit move that I did. And I'm not proud of that. But Jack and just told me, he goes, don't you ever do that on a track again. I mean, Jack's younger than me.
Yeah.
And he goes, don't you ever. He goes, you can do that in the pit where no one sees it. He goes, but you have a race to try to win.
Yep.
That is what you're here to do. And so as I've gotten faster, the Marty Smith effect is what I call it. I'm really good friends with Brock Glover. I've met Bob Hanna several times. Love that guy. But Marty, when he passed away, not one person said a bad thing about him.
Yeah.
Because he was just a good guy. And that's how like I said, I got some buddies that are real asses about riding now. And that's fine. I'm still always going to be nice to them. But that's one thing where I'm at. And I think it's a maturity thing. And I try to pass along to Hayden and those guys is very much a, you represent you firstly, your family, and then your sponsors.
Yeah.
And heaven forbid something were to happen to me tomorrow. I don't want my family hearing people talk shit.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good, I guess, golden rule you would say to live by, because I never thought of it like that. But yeah, I mean, if I was to pass away tomorrow, I don't want anybody talking shit because I acted like a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's people out there that I rub the wrong way, just because of my personality. Not every personality is compatible. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But
we're not supposed to be.
Exactly. And I don't want even those people to be like, yeah, I didn't like him, but he wasn't a dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's kind of what you know what I mean? That's kind of the way I want to be presented too. So yeah, that's a good way to live by, man. That's cool.
Well, and that's like, I think about that sometimes. I think it's human to want everybody to like you.
Oh yeah.
It's not going to happen.
No.
So we were at Honda Hills. Your brother actually watched it. I don't know if he remembers this because he and Levi had to go get the side-by-side. So you remember old Shale Hill?
Yeah.
So now they're a corner that goes past it and it's all briars down to the old Roger DeCoster side of the track.
Yep.
And there was this guy on this Cowie. Kept hitting me. And anybody that knows me knows I still kind of lash out. We come in, and this was my last C-Class race, and I won it. He got abruptly ejected down Shale Hill. Come in, set him up. Did the Bob Hanna. Almost word for word. I was going to break his leg. And I don't like to be like that, but it's funny now. But, the kid really was trying to hurt me. I mean, he's telling people on the line he's going to go out to kill us. And it's like, that ain't cool.
Yeah.
So I set him up, tried to break his leg, hit him hard. He didn't go down. Set him up again, got him. He's never raced again. He come over and apologized, and he goes, "What I was doing wasn't right," and he's not racing anymore. And but I don't like to be that way. But
Yeah.
you got so many influential guys that your Willards and all your guys that when I still struggle. I mean, I just moved up to B class about a year now, and I finally been cracking some top fives.
Nice,
and enjoying
congratulations.
that.
Yeah.
And I got some buddies that were really competitive, and it makes it fun. But it's so cool to have these guys helping me. And I always tell them, how much you want for it?
Yeah.
Like, you got a goods and service here.
Yeah.
Just pass it along.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many other sports you got that? You're not going to go get coached by Michael Jordan and get a free fee.
Yeah, right.
Like, no. I had a buddy at Mid-Ohio, going back to vintage, the Wheeler family here in Zanesville. Mike Wheeler is brash. Nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
I didn't have a Sunday bike this year. My YZ490s, both CDIs went out. I've never rode a Mako in my life. They're a Mako family and Hondas, but mostly Mako. And they had this 79 AW 400. Mike was sitting there. He goes, "Well, you're riding Sunday." I said, "I ain't got a bike. I'd like to ride now." He goes, "You're riding that Mako."
Yeah.
I've never really ever talked to Mike. I'm great friends with his brother Greg, but it's just like that stuff right there is what separates us. And if I can pass a little bit of that on, again, that's how I met Hayden. That's how I met Fergie.
Yeah,
ended up becoming one of my best friends. My best friend. I tell everybody I have two brothers, Fergie and Hayden.
Yeah,
and but like Fergie, I met him on Instagram. And that's where social media for me, that's why I enjoy it now.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I found this whole podcast.
Yeah.
It was social media. And so like Fergie, I seen he was at a track, seen the number. Cause like if anybody, like my grandpa's mad about this, he'll be like, "Oh, so-and-so." I'm like, what bike number?
Yeah. What bike number?
What are they riding? And then I know, but he's like, I text him, I say, "Hey man, yeah, you look good today." And he goes, "Oh, thanks man. You look good." We started talking back and forth. And then we started hanging out. And I was going to do the lettering on one of his jerseys because before I had FXR, I was riding in whatever Iron Pony had in a $20 bin.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I didn't have a Cricut machine, but I knew Cricut material could be ironed on.
Yeah.
So I'd sit there and I told him, and I did jerseys for quite a few dudes. And I'd print out stencils on Microsoft and use different fonts, and then I'd cut them out as clean as I could, flip them, trace them onto the material backwards, and it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It was an absolute pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I did that, and it looked really good. So I did jerseys for guys, and I know some of them are still wearing those jerseys, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that's how I met Fergie.
Yeah.
And then we started hanging out, and then we went to Redbud, and that Redbud is what kind of opened up a partial career. So we went to Redbud in 21, and that was our original friend riding group.
Yeah.
It's no longer a thing. It's just me and Fergie that's left.
Yeah.
Me, Fergie, and Rylan went up to Redbud. His uncle is Lurch, the live announcer for Supercross and motocross.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, hey, we're going to get pit passes, and we're going to be there on press day." I was like, fuck yeah. Like, he's like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like,
yeah.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So we get up there. That was the first time I've ever rode in a vehicle with him. I should have known right there never to let him drive. This part of my French, this motherfucker, okay, gets in the truck, sets the cruise at 80 mile an hour, which whatever.
Yeah.
I drive like a grandma, and anybody that knows me, Fergie, Hayden, Jack, everybody makes fun of me because I'll go like, if it's speed limit 70, I'm going 74.
Yeah.
I'm not going 75. I'm not going 73. It's 74.
Same, yeah.
I drive like a grandma so I can try to ride fast. And so he goes, "I'm going to watch a movie." And I thought, it's a Tacoma.
Yeah.
It has an infotainment screen. Maybe he jailbroke his.
While he's driving?
This motherfucker puts his Crocs, that's what his signature, red Crocs, on the floor, crisscross applesauce, puts his phone in the damn dash.
Oh, no.
Sitting there watching it. And like, I'm not trying to be an asshole because like I'm getting free
Everything, yeah.
everything to go up to Red Butt, but I'm also like, we're going to die.
Yeah.
And I'm like, looking at Rylan, and Rylan's like, what's he doing? I'm like, we're going to fucking die.
We're going to die.
And so we get there. I'm a nervous wreck. And we walk into the pits, and I meet his uncle, and, you know, we get in there. And this is right when the Lawrences were here full time.
Okay.
So if you've ever been to the pits in Red Bud,
it was 2007, I think we
Okay.
went. My wife, my two stepchildren, and a friend of mine. We drove up and we were in the pits thanks
Yeah.
to Ryan Longstreth, and
Okay.
we got into the pits and hung out and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah. So do you remember the basketball court that's in there?
Mhm.
So it's still there. Still, everything's the same. So we get in there, and the Lawrence brothers are playing basketball with, I think, they've been at the time, so they've been on Geico, Honda with the shift gear, which that shit was badass.
Yeah.
And I think Christian Craig had a group of them playing, and I'll never forget this. Lurch said, "Do not fangirl. They will never talk to you again.
Mm-hmm.
Just treat them like you're a home dog." I said, "All
Yeah.
right." As soon as we say that, Adam Cianciarulo's walking up, and he goes, "Hey, Adam, how are you?" Because everybody knows Lurch, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, this is my nephew and his friends," and I had a Cowie shirt on, and Adam's like, "Hey, man, that's really cool," and we start shitting, and I'm sitting there going,
Yeah.
"This is badass."
Yeah, which, by the way, him and the podcast he does is amazing, by the way. I love
it's
that
pretty
podcast.
good.
But yeah, go ahead.
And so, like, we're talking to him, and he goes, "Well, you guys ready for dinner?" I was like, "Oh, well, I don't want to go to the hotel yet." And he goes, "No, we're going to eat at Pro Circuit." I'm like, "Huh?
Oh, shit.
Are you shitting me? Like, what?" And so we go in there, and Mitch was there. And Mitch is never usually there on a Friday.
Okay.
It was just there. I'm shitting a brick because, like,
That's Mitch Payton.
I'm at Mark's building motors, and like we're always, me and Mark are like, dude, if we could build like Mitch Payton,
Yeah, Mitch Payton, yeah,
that he does,
yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, "Hi, Mitch," and he's like, "Hey, buddy, how are you?" And that's nonchalant about it. I'm like,
yeah.
And I looking at everybody, I was like, "That's fucking Mitch Payton." They're like, "We know, we work for him," and So we got to hang out with the mechanics, and getting like from me to this Pepsi bottle away from a factory bike.
Oh,
insane.
yeah.
And honestly, they're not all that. It's the little nuance parts that really make them one-offs.
Mm-hmm.
So we eat dinner, and I'll never forget Fergie. They were brats that they were making, and the mechanics we're all sitting there, and we're eating. Fergie's sitting there cutting up this brat like a little kid and dipping it in ketchup. And I'm like, "Fuck are you doing, dude? Just eat it.
Just
like,
eat
you're
the
being a
fucking-
weirdo." And they're like, "Is he a preschooler?" I'm like,
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a preschooler.
but it was cool, and so we got to do that, did the whole Red Bud down there, night races, all that
Mhm.
crazy shit. And all that. And we didn't go in 22. Can't remember why. 23, Rylan and his brother, we rode with them, but we were all young,
Mhm.
and so got in an argument, and I think it was over a girl.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I didn't really care, but they were being
Yeah.
assholes.
Okay.
We're all good now.
Yeah.
But, it was like, it was over something actually dumb, and we didn't pit with them one day. I didn't want to be around them.
Yeah.
And then they quit riding. So I still talk to them occasionally, but it is what it is. But we went up, it was just me and Fergie. And Mitch was there. I can still walk into Pro Circuit now.
That's fucking dope.
And no one blinks an eye because I know most of the mechanics. They have Ryan Hughes, the mechanic.
Yeah.
And me and him got to be good buddies. So I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
We got tea to spill, and people are here to drink it.
Yeah, right.
So Bones had just retired from being the suspension guy for like ever.
Yeah.
And Cruz took control. And Cruz everybody there is a great dude. I mean, Mitch doesn't hire half-assed anything.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And so we eat. There's a cooler. Mitch likes Silver Bullets.
Mm.
He's a Coors Light guy.
Okay.
That's just disgusting.
Yeah.
And they had like high noons and stuff, and like I'm not like it, when I haven't drank for a long time. It's gonna ruin moto
Yeah.
type of deal.
Yep.
And but they brought out this rum.
Mm.
It wasn't like store bought rum. This is in like a decanter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and
somebody brought that from the grandpa's fucking shelf.
yeah, like literally, like, all right, we'll serve this to him.
Yeah.
And Pee Wee is Derek's son, and Derek is now a Cali mechanic.
Okay.
So, anyways, you've heard stories of mechanics back in the day getting absolutely fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Well, these guys were going to cut loose. Mitch left, and Ryan and I were doing something, and they started giving out shots. Went down like water. So we all just started. Well, Ryan Hughes started smoking cigarettes. I think I had one. Sorry to anybody that thought I was a good kid. And they said, let's go to lot B. Let's go party. They stole the fucking mule that the team uses. We're all hanging in the back. And you know, thankfully, like, I know they had to get their ass chewed.
Yeah.
Because they're all tuned up. We go down there, we're playing cornhole. One of the mechanics is up there with a chick. And then security comes.
Oh.
Because they thought it was just hooligans in general.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
That's the factory.
That's the factory team.
We can't yell at them. So they politely asked us to close shop and go back. Well, those guys are all tore up. Bad. Hey guys, we'll see you tomorrow. So we get a DD back to the hotel. You know, we're fine.
Yeah.
Get there next morning. They're all hungover.
Oh.
Lethargic.
They got shit to do too.
Oh yeah. And you can tell they're trying their damnedest. And Mitch just laughed. But I knew they got their ass chewed because last year and the year before they laugh about it now, but they're like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
But it was like cool. It's like I was a part of that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
I mean, you were in the
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty dope. Like,
well,
that's
dude,
the pipe and shit.
Have you ever been in one of their trailers?
I have never been in one of the semis.
All right, so one of the semis, they're all, I mean, other than Yamaha, because they have 400 fucking riders, the setup, you walk in and it's like almost like a snap-on toolbox.
Okay.
The way it's set up. And they have a big mirror. And most of them, the sleeper part, it's just a loft for the riders to chill out in. And like Mitch's is special because it has his wheelchair stuff in it. And so he can go up or down, and it actually has a little elevator in there. It's really neat. And this is where the pro circuit truck's special. Everything they make's one off for the team. And then what's left over, they sell to the public. So like you are getting factory parts, but you open up a cabinet, there's haymakers, 3 of his motors, Forkners, 3 of his motors. So there's no more building a motor at the track like your generation and before.
Yeah.
It's plug and play.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yes.
Especially with how tight they run the TV schedule.
And not only that, the 4-stroke's a completely different animal
Oh,
than
yeah.
2-stroke.
You're not, I mean, those guys can throw in a top end pretty quick, but not that quick.
Yeah.
And open up this cabinet. There's fork legs everywhere. Open up this drawer. Like Mark was saying about his dad in Tosh with the bird, titanium everything, titanium pegs. There's a whole ass drawer that's bigger than this coffee table. You open up and there's like 20 different sets. And
that's pretty fucking dope.
And like if you pick one of them up, you almost throw it because it's so light. And just shit like that. And then it's like I did an internship through Yamaha as an engineer. And so I went through UC Berkeley schooling for that and whatnot. So I did that and got to see the inside of that, talk to those guys. But like it's super neat. But once you see it, it's like the star glamour goes away. And
I don't know. Does it ever really?
It kind of does, or at least for me, because it's like I know these guys now.
Yeah. Yeah.
My friend Chris worked for Troy Lee when they had the gas. And the one mechanic, I was watching him. And he knew I worked as an intern through Yamaha. And I did that for a couple years. and he would not open that clutch cover in front of me. And Chris goes, for fuck's sake, dude, just open it up. Logan could care less about this Austrian piece of shit anyways. and it opened up, but the way they did, you know, the clutch spring, that spring washer they have, most of them are just kind of like a gentle ripple. This one's like,
wow.
And it was just neat, just the nuanced stuff. But, you know, it's just stuff like that. And like the following year, I think that was the same year they had the Legends ride. And I never got, I've always wanted to meet Mark Barnett, the bomber, the baddest mofo on a 125 in his day. And I was like,
yeah, he held the record till Ricky broke it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was there. And Brock Glover, being friends with him, Brock said, hey, they were going to do that lap of history. They had LaRocco, Todd DeHoop, who else? Mark Barnett, Tommy Watts, a couple of the really early 70s guys that, I mean, Torsten Hallman was there, but he literally had every security guard ever made around him. You couldn't access him, which, I mean, he's getting older.
Yeah.
But Mark Barnett was standing there, and it kind of irked me. And this is where, like, the being like a history nerd, he was on a 76 RM250, which was kind of correct, but they really should have put him on like a Fox replica bike.
Yeah.
But he was wearing his original Yoko Fox gear.
He could still fit in it?
Yeah, had the
Holy
pants,
shit.
had the leather boots, the jersey, his Jofa, everything. And I was like, Brock, I had a Suzuki jersey with me because I wanted to have RD Roger DeCoster sign it. And that's cool. You know, we'll get to that here in a minute.
Yeah.
And Fergie got it on video. Brock said, come on. The security guard said, no. He goes, you don't know who I am. This kid's with me. Fuck off. And that's how he said it. And so he walked up and said, hey, Mark, you got time to sign an autograph? And he like was just throwing back that a kid wanted his autograph. And he's like, you want my autograph? I said, yeah. And I held it out and I said, can sign it wherever you want. He goes, I'm going to sign it in the top of the Suzuki S.
Oh, nice.
And then Roger DeCoster come over. I've always bugged RD for years.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the man.
Yes.
Like
the man. Yeah.
Like that is motocross.
He is motocross.
And so he come over. I want to sign it too. Let me sign it. And he just goes right over the big middle of the S. And so I got it framed now, and I said, thank you so much. And I shook his hand and I started turning away, you know, didn't expect anything else. He goes, where are you from, kid? You talking to me?
You talking to me?
Yeah. Where are you from? And I said, I'm from Zanesville, Ohio. And then we started talking, and he goes, I said, you remember Todd Perkins from Philo, Duncan Falls? He goes, yeah. Because Mark got Todd's ride.
Oh, okay.
Todd was supposed to have that Suzuki ride.
Because he finished in the 500 championship. He finished, what did he finish, 9th?
9th or 10th.
9th or 10th, yeah.
And Suzuki was going to do it. And from what I heard, his dad tried to over-negotiate, and Suzuki said, we got another guy in line then.
Gotcha.
And then Todd quit riding. And I think he lives in Columbus now.
Okay.
But so Mark and I started talking about that, and he goes, you know, you ride old bikes, and, you know, just bullshit.
Yeah.
And we had TV coming up and said, hey, you guys are holding it up. And he goes, you wanted me here. I'm here having a conversation. So it'll be done when we're done. And like, that's when I was truly starstruck.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he goes, thanks for remembering me. And that always kind of stuck with me. It's like, and Johnny O'Mara, when I met him, because he's always at the race.
Oh, Johnny O is
he's the shit.
Oh my gosh. Like, come on.
Osho.
I mean, I'm literally trying to think of someone who's put more back into the sport than him and DeCoster.
Not many.
I don't know. Like, I really don't.
There's not many.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, Osho, I went up to talk to him. Hunter Lawrence walked up to me. I could do two shits less at that point. I said, where's Johnny O? He goes, he's in the trailer. I said,
cool.
Does he have a chance just to get a picture? He goes, yeah. And Johnny looking, he goes, where's the old dude at? And they go, that's that kid. And he goes, wow, you want a picture with me? Like, he was so sincere about it, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, you want a picture with me? I was like,
Of
fuck
course.
yeah.
Of course we do.
And then I was showing him pictures because my grandpa and his buddies snuck into mid-Ohio in the 80s, 79, 80, and 81 and have, like, no one's ever seen these pictures of Johnny O chilling out in a box fan. I showed him. He goes, can you text me those?
Yeah.
So he has those now.
Yeah.
Copies of them. And like I got my grandpa's got pictures of like Bob Hanna just chilling out eating a banana.
Well, it's funny, like we went to the Troy National in 94. And this was before we started riding.
Yeah.
We went up to the Troy National to watch it. And I'll never forget, Jeff Emming came walking into the center to watch another different practice, and everybody was stopping him, right? And his mechanic at the time, I can't remember who it was giving him a little bit of shit because he was not wanting to talk or get pictures or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just never forget, he turns to him, and turns to his mechanic, and I was standing kind of like off to the side, and I'm bug-eyed watching as a kid, and we kind of like meet eyes for half a second. And he turns to his mechanic. He's like, I'm just trying to fucking eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwich and watch some fucking lines. And his mechanic goes, then don't walk where all the fucking people are. I'll never forget that as long as I live. I'm just like, oh shit. So
well, it throws you off when they cuss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's like one thing that's like, wow, where were we? Oh, it was this year hanging out bullshitting at Mid-Ohio with Brock and my buddy Charlie Wine. Charlie, dude, if you ever get the
no, I know Charlie real well.
You know Charlie?
Fuck yeah, I know Charlie. He worked at RCD sales forever, and him and I put a lot of glass in together. Like, I was the Richardson Glass Service auto glass tech.
Charlie Wine from down in southern United States?
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, he makes the best fucking ribs.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I should have told. I wish I'd known he was at Haunted Hills 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's for the vintage stuff.
Okay.
So,
he's still riding?
No.
Okay.
He just helps sponsor everybody.
I thought, yeah.
And so Charlie had a couple beers.
Mm-hmm.
And Brock and I are coming over, and I remember the first time Brock said fuck, and it was like, ew, you're not allowed to say that. And it was like, but it's like, this sport too. Look how access. Okay, I'm gonna go off tangent here. Carmichael's an ass if you catch him wrong.
I was gonna say every interaction I've ever had with him, ever since it was his first ever pro national, right after Loretta's at Steel City.
Mm-hmm.
I went up to get his autograph, and obviously there was no tables, no nothing around at that time. It was just him, and he actually took one of the other posters that the guys were signing and turned it over and signed it for me.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool, and it lived for somewhere. And then it was again in the RCA Dome in '98. He was sitting in like real close to the front watching practice. And there was a group of us that went over way early. We always went over early because you could get in, chill, and stuff like that way before everybody else did. And I remember had a conversation with him there. Mm-hmm. Super, super cool dude. And then in 2007, my wife actually stood in line for me for 3 hours. You had to get the tickets then, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So she stood in line for me for 3 hours. And then when she got close to the front, because I ran around talking to a bunch of different people. And when she got close to us, she switched me spots in line or whatever. And got to talk to him again then, and just reminiscing about some shit or whatever. But so for me, Carmichael has always been.
That's cool.
Carmichael and Stewart have always been.
I got a Stu story for you.
I got a little one too, and it's about social media, and it still brings me some joy. But like Carmichael and Stewart have always been super awesome to me.
Oh yeah.
And I'm nobody. Like literally, I'm a fanboy. 100% a fanboy. 100% a fanboy. Like, cause but Stewart, it was right when he went to Suzuki. He posted something on, this was when I was still on Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter forever, but I was still on Twitter.
The Twitter.
The Twitter. I said, man, you look good in yellow. Because Suzuki has my heart. And he was like, thanks. I said, oh yeah. And by the way, I'm a huge hip hop kid. I said, wasn't you in a David Banner video? And he was like, yes, I was. And then I was like, how, like, really wanted to know, like, how was David Banner? He's like, dude, super cool, laid back, chill, bro. Just like, and we literally had a conversation in the comments on Twitter with me and Stuart. I was like, fucking badass.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I mean?
cool.
Like, this is so awesome. You know, like a random person on his Twitter feed, he's responding to, because when I seen him in the David Banner video, I was like, hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. Yeah, because I'm hip hop kids. So I was loving love David Banner. Anyways, his songs are fucking awesome. But then to see Stewart in the video, I was like,
that's Bubba.
That's Bubba. Still his Kawasaki days and shit. So yeah, it was really cool to have a social media interaction with one of your idols, kind of. You know what I mean? Because yes, he's a lot younger than me, but dude is the fastest man on the planet.
Yeah. Well, that's like so, and that was where my Carmichael is. I met James in the same day.
Mm-hmm.
And Carmichael wasn't an ass to me. I
Mm-hmm.
can't say that he was an ass to me. I think he's Redbud brings out the worst people.
I'm telling you what, like Redbud's where I met him. You know what I mean? It's where my wife waited in line, but you almost have to feel bad for when they get to that superstar level because of it's when they're at that situation of in the pits and not even just in the pits, but when they're out in the local and when they've got to be secluded because if not, just like the Jeff Emming story, he just wanted to eat a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Yeah, he just wants
to
to eat a sandwich,
he just want to be a normal dude. So I can imagine if you catch one of them
wrong
at the wrong time, especially when someone like the greatest of all time is in his zone, I can imagine he's going to be a dick.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Rightfully so.
Well, and that's where like Redbud, I don't like it now, but it also is cool. 12 o'clock, they let the general public go wander through the pits for autographs, and it's like a roller coaster ride. You got to pick what line you want to go to the most. And he was trying to just get back to the pit, and people were like rats. And so it's like, okay, I get that. I think you could react a little better instead of yelling at that young kid, but neither here nor there. But so when the legends were going out, Mark Barnett and them were going out, there was this black guy standing next to me. I kept looking over. He looked like Bubba. But I don't want to be like, hey man, you look like James Stewart. Like that brings a whole nother level of problems around. It's like I ain't gonna be that guy to say that. That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one of these doesn't have anything on it anymore. It used to have a number 7, and he looked over and grabbed it, went like this. He goes, "Got a good number, kid." And I went,
yeah.
I look over, I'm like, that's James Stewart. And everyone's like, no shit, hops the fence, and then everybody starts, and it was like his little entrance thing, but I was just like, he just grabbed my necklace.
Yeah.
That's badass.
That is badass.
And that's where, getting to do that stuff and just going to nationals is a whole different thing, and it's cool because you get to see stuff on social media that you guys didn't get to see back in the day. But like on the Facebook, my page is just an advertisement. That's all it is for my sponsors or for people like you that are wanting. Who the hell is this kid?
Well, I mean, Mark talked you up pretty good when we were doing our podcast before and after, and
he lied.
Yeah, this is literally the 3rd episode. I did a welcome episode, just kind of introducing it because I'm moving away from the Autoglass podcast and moving into this as a adventure kind of motocross kind of whatever. And then so when Mark was like, "Hey, I think Logan be on," I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was so cool that you decided to sit down and do this show. So I appreciate it. And these stories are fucking awesome, dude, that you are so cool with all these legends of our sport that like
I try to be.
You hear about them like back in the day, like the VHS tapes they'd put out, like I was talking about the Throttle for the Gold, which was a 92. But prior to that, you had Winners Take All, which they mentioned Bob Hanna, Brock Glover, Guy Cooper.
I watched that literally like Monday.
Did you?
I watch that shit all the time.
That's a great movie, by the way. If you guys want to check it out, which I'm sure everybody in our sport, if you're serious about sport, you've seen it because it's one of those ones.
Yeah, it's like on any Sunday. It's kind of a rite of passage.
Yep.
You got to watch it.
It's like on any Sunday, Winners Take All, and then one of the VHSs of one of the Supercross series. And then you go directly into Moto Triple X, Terra Firma, Moto Triple X 2, Krusty Demons of Dirt. Krusty Demons of Dirt was before the Moto Triple X stuff, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Krusty Demons of Dirt, Terra Firma, Moto Triple X, And then Fresno Smooth was one of my favorite ones of
Oh,
all
yeah.
time. Yeah, Fresno Smooth was like wasn't an Emming fan, but that changed my mind a little bit. Because
Was there one called
Steel Roots.
Steel Roots?
That was a McGrath one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what was the one? Was it called Metal Children? There was one that I have to ask my friend Jared. He used to love it, and it had Seth Winslow and those guys in it. And I think it was like Steel Children of a Metal God or something like that.
Yeah, there was something like
Some
that.
weird,
Yeah.
but it was like, and like off on a tangent real quick though, like look at the tricks they're doing now. Like the shit that's in Krusty Demons is not cool anymore compared to like it's still cool. Don't get me wrong,
but
because of the soundtrack.
And that's what we were doing though. That's what we found cool. That's what we found cool. That's what the sport took another level with Deegan and Pastrana, and then the kids that came after like Adams and
Axel Hodge.
I mean, I mean what they're able to do on a motorcycle is completely like nonsense. When Carey landed the backflip, that changed everything in the freestyle world. Cause we would all do jumps and do tricks and things like that. And, but then once Carey landed the backflip, it completely changed everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And now it's like one of the simple tricks. It's like bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
No,
I'm not even.
I'm not even trying to backflip a fucking dirt bike, dude.
Oh, I hate that, dude. You tell, and I'm sure you guys got this question too. Yeah, I race motorcycles. Can you do a backflip?
It was my day. It was can you ride a wheelie? Which that was
I can't.
yeah. Well, it was I could for a little bit of a minute, but I wasn't like super good at the wheelies. But that was like I race dirt bikes, and it's like can you do a wheelie? Now it's can you do a backflip?
Yeah,
and it goes straight to that. It's like fuck no, I can't do a backflip, and I don't want.
Can you throw a whip? Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
If I'm wrecking.
Yeah.
Or I can do little butt whips.
Little butt whips.
Yeah.
Little butt whips.
Little butt whips.
Little butt whip. Yeah, it's so cool that you actually have that relationship with the people that was huge superstars to me and the kids before me, and then obviously some of the kids after me. It was like that's pretty cool. Especially someone that's your age, living in that because my kids are your age, so like living in that time frame of like be like. Dalton walking up to Stuart and saying, "What's up, man?" And Stuart be like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" You can walk into the Honda truck, you can walk into Pro Circuit, and it's like everybody knows you. It's like, that's fucking cool. You don't know how cool that is. That's fucking cool, bro.
Well, that's the thing, and I got to thank Lurch, Fergie's uncle, for that because it was like, as long as you don't fangirl, you guys are cool, and that's the thing. Like, this year I did the Redbud Amateur Day.
Mm-hmm.
And so my buddy Austin Sealing and I, we rode up and he said, "Hey, you want to go?" And I was like, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. It's a good experience. All my buddies said I need to go. I hate sand.
Mm-hmm.
We left Buckeye Lake at 9:00. We got there at 3:34 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And so I knew a buddy, and I texted him. He said the industry lot's still unlocked. That's where everybody was sleeping. So we got in there and it cut loose. I mean, it was like a storm like we had yesterday.
Yeah.
And got out there for practice. It's gas tank deep. I'm watching my friends out in 450A, 250A paddle the bike with their feet up and down hills. I said, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Yeah, right.
I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And so I go out there. And God bless him, Jack Windland's there, and he's getting so close to qualifying. It's not even funny.
I seen some of the stuff that he's tried this year with the qualifying, and Jack, you'll get it. You could feel it.
Oh,
and when you talk to people that know him, I don't know him. I've never met him. I've never met.
We gotta get him on.
Yeah, I've never met. Please, I've never met anybody in that. But just watching the social media part of it, and you can just see it and hear it when people talk about him, that it's going to happen.
He's got it.
And it's going to happen quick. Obviously this year there's a few more rounds that he has a chance for, but then, I think next year he'll make that he'll click that. And that would be amazing to get him on here.
Oh,
I think that would be just obviously Zanesville kid, being here, and that'd be super dope.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like you got a lot of these guys that like are on the cusp, and Mark talked about him. Our one buddy Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan come on the pipe, and I mean Ethan's always been quick.
Mm-hmm.
But Ethan put his face to the grinding stone and is doing it.
Well, it became a job after RC did it. We would just ride.
Yeah.
And you go racing on the weekends.
Now
and you
it's
did
eating
now
right and
now
training.
yeah, you got to eat right, you got to train. You have to not just eat right and train, you have to have it down to a science of when your body's going to peak. You almost have to be triathlete level data nerd now.
Yeah.
You know,
That's where I'm at. I mean, and that's where I talked about being one spot out
Mhm.
from Mid-Ohio. And now I'm to the point, and Willard and them guys are all talking to me about it. And, Willard and I talked about this Sunday, actually,
Mhm.
after Hayden weeding his shit up. Um, you get to a point where you're so much faster now that when you make a mistake, it's a legit mistake.
It's a mistake.
And it won't usually cost you.
Mhm.
And so, like, for me now, it's like I'm getting to this level
Mhm.
of I got to get in physical shape because, like Mark talked about, you got gym shape and race shape's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's true to a point.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's totally right.
Yeah.
But like, Matt's been helping me.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that. So, like, I mean, that's the whole thing.
This was our cross training.
Yeah.
I did start lifting heavy after my back injury, just to build up some muscle around my back, but I never was the same rider after that, and so it was coming to an end anyways.
Yeah.
So for me, it was coming to an end of the competitive part of my racing. But road bikes,
That's the way to go, dude.
fucking love road bikes, bro. This one's sitting here because this is the first brand new bike I've ever bought.
I got you.
And so it's sitting down here. My carbon fiber SL2's upstairs.
Yeah.
That's the one I ride.
I got a Giant Defy too.
Yeah, my wife's. I'll show it to you before you leave. She's got the Giant Defy. It's hanging on the wall up there,
Oh,
full
hell yeah.
carbon fiber. That's
Yeah.
the one she rides, and then I have the Specialized, and I have a Specialized mountain bike. But like this is becoming like not a thing anymore. It's like you got to do this, but you also have to do
Running.
the running, the rowing,
Yeah.
the balance work, all the stuff that Eldon Baker put out there and stuff, and then I listened to Adam Cianciarillo talk about it, the days that he put in with that, and it's literally like and the fact that Ethan and Jack are at that point where they're ready to qualify, to where now it's like the lifestyle switch has probably been there. Like they don't have to make a switch; they've already done it.
Mhm.
So now it's like, okay, now I can work on my technique because I got my health in check. I got my
Yeah.
so they'll
Well,
get it, but it's a job. It is a full-time
absolutely.
job. Yeah.
Well, that's where, like, with me, I'm to the level now. I'm 25,
Mhm.
and and you're going to laugh, but where I'm coming at from this. In moto, like my mom doesn't understand this, and mom, hopefully we can shed some light here. You get to a point in an age where you do slow down.
Mhm.
I'm not there yet.
Mhm.
I started late, so I'm still climbing up this ladder. But for me, if I don't do something now, I'm cooked.
You're at 25. I'm especially even with starting late. So you're about 10 years in, coming up on 10 years in. Excuse me. You're at that point.
Yeah.
It's got to happen within the next 2 to 3 years, because if it don't, you're
You're
gonna
stuck.
stifle. Yeah.
Well, that's where I got back.
25 used to be old in the sport. It's not as old now.
Yeah.
But because you're gonna ride for a lot longer. You're gonna race for a lot longer. But as far as
The competitiveness.
because as far as that
Yeah.
switch, yeah, you're it's gonna be next year is probably gonna be a decision year for you.
Well, and that's exactly where I'm at. I told my grandpa, like, we've made so much speed progress
Mhm.
because of these guys, right? And it's like, all right, I need to either change my lifestyle now to eat better, lift better.
Mhm.
And I got a buddy that lives in Florida that is training, and he's a personal trainer.
Mhm.
And he's worked with Alden Baker athletes.
Mhm.
And he's like, let's do it. He goes, you got to do it now.
Yeah.
He goes, because, my goal is to be in A class by the time I'm 30. And, I asked Jack, I said, is that actually a legitimate, realistic goal? He goes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He goes, but here's the problem. Let's start work now.
Yeah. You can't just wake up at 29 thinking that
I'm going to go in there now.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
no,
have a snowball chance of hell of trying.
yeah. So yeah, I think he's absolutely correct. Like going into this winter, once you get done with your vintage series and going into this winter, I really think that, especially since your technique sounds like it's coming around and it sounds like your speed is getting to where, you're really going to make tons of progress, that if you can get to where your fitness is where the first and second lap speed is the same, you're going,
Yeah,
the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th lap or whatever, that's where you're going to make up all your time.
exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, mom, he's got a decision to make, but that decision he's got to make is whether or not you want to pursue that goal
Mhm.
or you want to influence others to pursue that goal.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm at. I want to do both, and everybody's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too." Absolutely, I'm gonna have the whole damn cake.
Yeah.
It's where I think if the decision is, and I know I've already made this decision. That's my goal.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm single as a Pringle. I
Mhm.
like it that way. I've lost a lot of cool women in my life because they're like, "You race too much." I'm like, "See that door you came in? See ya, leave." And it's like, I know, like this year it showed me, like I had one buddy at Mid Ohio that kicked my ass in corners, and
Mhm.
it's not like everybody. Okay, you got to race him one time. I got to race him all year round.
Yeah.
And we were at Smoky Pines in the spring. Pissed me off. He got me in the corners so
Mhm.
bad. So I'm faster. I am faster,
Yeah.
but he got me in the corners.
Yeah.
Corners for dough, money for, or jumps for show. And I said, that ain't never happening again. And I told him, I said, you ain't never gonna beat me again in the
Mhm.
corners. And I worked on corners, and I still work on corners, and it's corners, corners. And now it's to the point too where, he didn't beat me.
Mhm.
He tried everything in the book, and I knew where he was going and when and how, and he didn't beat me. So that was amazing. And it's to a point now, like if I feel like shit on a bike, like Sunday, track was nasty. Ruts felt great though.
Mhm.
Other parts I could have worked on, but like Hayden kept saying, I was like, dude, I felt like shit. And he's like, dude, you look good.
Mm.
And I'm like, you're just saying that. He was like, no, like you look good. And I overheard a friend. I'm not gonna say it. I've already mentioned him on the podcast, but I'm not gonna say it. I was in the shitter at Haunted Hills, and I heard him talk to my grandpa. He goes, I used to be able to beat him. Easy money.
Mhm.
I put a half track on him. He
Mhm.
goes, now not only does he challenge me in the corners, he goes, he's not shutting off in the corner. And that's such a good feeling. That's it is humbling because
Yeah.
it's like I'm doing it. And going back to that person said I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
doing it.
Gotcha. I got one for you, bro. I
Yeah.
got one
Well,
for you.
that's like Haunted Hills. I got and I got to give it up to the. I know we're probably going long, but
Uh, yeah, we're at 2 hours, 2.5 hours, so we'll cut this off about
yeah, we'll just end it right here. How about
and
then we
give
can?
a few more minutes.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
you can come back
yeah,
again.
we'll do a part two.
Yeah, we have to do a part 2. You can come back
My
again,
journey
so
ain't over yet.
yeah, no, no, no.
We'll,
I'm enjoying these stories of just your progression in the sport is really impressive
thank
from
you.
where you started to where you are, but also your journey with the sport outside of the racing, your progression to the elite level. Like you're becoming an elite level rider, but you're also an elite level influencer and meeting all these famous people, like famous, might not
Yeah,
be famous to the general public, but famous to us,
yeah,
kind of people, people that we really, really, literally want to mean stuff like
yeah,
that. So like to see that it's an inspirational, it's kind of like uplifting, kind of like, oh my God, this is so cool. Cause you're sitting here talking to me who, less than 2 to 3 days ago, you didn't even know I was Chris's brother.
no,
It
yeah,
didn't, I mean, it didn't connect or
yeah,
anything like that. So, uh, that just seeing your progression as far as the stories, hearing them, and as you're telling them, you're visualizing
yeah,
everything that's happening, and it's almost like reading a book, listening to an audio book, or reading a book. I'm picturing these stories you're telling. So it's like it's really cool to have them play out. Because these people you're talking about, I kind of have seen them in some form, whether
yeah.
magazine or video or, the Facebook,
The Facebook.
the Facebook. God damn, there's going to be shirts with that on it now.
I'm gonna make.
Fucking
I'll
shit.
have them made.
But anyways, and the fact that you're very solid dude.
I
You're very
appreciate that.
humble. And it's so fun sitting here bench racing with you. So there has to be a part 2. I know Mark's
Oh,
got to be a
absolutely.
part 2. It's got to be a part 2. I would love to just sit down and hear more of these stories with you. But all right, so we are at the 2-hour 33-minute mark, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll release the little clips like I did of Mark and everything. But before we go, let's get those sponsors in, and thanks to the people that mean something to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, first and foremost, God. I mean, Mark and I talked about this several times. Without God, you're nothing. But when you have God in your life, you have everything. And that's the only reason I'm here, being able to tell the story I've had so far.
Mm-hmm.
And being thankful for that is an understatement. Obviously, Mark. I hang out, having a big kid job right now kind of makes it hard, but I genuinely was a shop rat. I was there every day.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And my mom and my family and my grandpa and my grandma, my dad, my sisters, Fergie, Hayden, Tucker, Jack, everybody. I mean, I couldn't do it without you guys, and I wouldn't want to do it without you guys. I mean, at the end of the day, um, Moto family is sometimes better than real family. And I think you know where I'm going with that.
Yep.
But all my local tracks, God bless you guys. You guys catch so much shit from every which way that it's not even funny. I mean, whether it be Briarcliff, Honda
Yeah, I would like to
Hills.
get I know Jeremy Osborne personally. I'd like to get him in
Oh, yeah.
here. Christopher knows Levi. I'd like to get Jimmy from 62
Yeah.
in here. I'd like to get Scott in here.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it be in here or remote, I would
Yeah.
like to get them on the show and just their perspective of running the track, because you're right,
Absolutely.
because they get so much shit. But go ahead,
Yeah,
continue.
and then just my industry sponsors, I mean, when I first started out doing this, I didn't think, I mean, my God, I hung 2 trophies on the wall that I got, and they were like 5th and 6th, and I was just like, this is awesome. And now, being boastful, I because of these people, I'm able to run out of room.
Yep.
And that to me right there, means more than anything, because it's not for me, it's for them.
Yep.
And so, I'd like to thank Vintage Factory, uh, Maxima Racing Oils, Bridgestone, Engine Ice, FXR, 100%, 6D with 100%, Alpine Star boots. They give me, they finally come on board. Renthal, ODI grips, Bonsai suspension. Thank you, Levi, for hooking my stuff up. Even if he doesn't build it, I'm able to call him, get some specs. If I'm at the track, he can help me. Just everybody in general, and my job. I mean, I'm not going to mention my company, but I mean, they're a great sponsor.
Mhm.
They give me a paycheck.
A paycheck every
I
week.
pay
Yeah.
my bills, and then I go race.
Yeah, right.
That's all I care about.
That's
you know.
yeah.
And
all you
then,
care
and
about.
obviously you for letting me come out
Oh.
here, and I got a lot of people that I'm sure don't know the whole story, and I mean, there will be more. And because I kind of laughed. I was rattling stuff through my head, kind of trying to prepare for this. I was like, what is he going to do if he asks about certain races stuff? Like, I don't remember. I mean, it all blurs together.
Yeah.
You remember chunks and pieces.
Yep, you do.
But overall, it's
And time has a funny way of changing those memories just a little bit, because the race you think was this day was actually this day.
Yeah.
And the races and tracks and things I'm recalling is 20 plus 23 plus years old, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
or more. So I mean, it's awesome. Like, I don't have a direction with the show. And it follows a lot like my old podcast was. It's really unedited, it's uncensored. And it really is just a conversation.
Yeah.
And the information that gets out there is the information that we remember the best of our recollection. So things, may slip our mind from time to time. And if there's anybody out there who would like to come on, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah.
This is something I think is going to be a lot of fun for me to do,
Yeah.
because I love podcasting, and I love moto, and I love the adventure part of life itself. But for me, I got to thank, when I'm talking about the motocross background, I got to thank my parents for getting me into it and getting me started, helping getting me going. My brother, and then none of this would be possible without my wife.
Yeah.
My wife has been just that person in my life that helped guide me through. You know what I mean? So I can't say enough. Thank her enough, for sure.
Well, absolutely.
All right. Well, with that, I'm James,
I'm Logan.
and stay tuned. There'll be a part 2.